could trot up the bag, or up the baseline to the bag. And that'll put men on first and second with no one out. And that's going to bring up Ryan Brown, the third baseman. And now Ryan Clapridge, the pitching coordinator, coming out here to have a quick sit-down with both Messer and Todd Stevens, the catcher. Always tough, especially, like you said, facing this spot in the order, how the pitcher reacts. Well, now he really needs to step up here. He's got a man in scoring position for the first time tonight after he went 1-2-3 to start off the ball game. What do you think's being talked about right now?
Just settle down and focus on getting the ball across the plate. Just settle down and pitch the ball.
You expect to see some small ball here?
I would say so.
Early stage, 0-0 game. However, it is the first lefty, so I don't know. Maybe they'll let him go.
That is true.
Ryan Brown, the left-handed hitting third baseman, steps in. Men on first and second, no one out in a scoreless top of the second. And Messer's first pitch is high and away, 1-0. Easier said than done throwing strikes, especially when you have this mismatch here, the lefty on righty. Ball and no strikes to count. And Messer deals a 1-0. That's a called strike on the outside corner. And the count evens up at 1-1 now to Ryan Brown. Brown has Connor Brown on first and Benji Downs on second. 2 free passes, a hit by pitch and a walk respectively. Here's a 1-1. Swung on and ripped foul. Third base side and out of play. Ball and 2 strikes. A big moment here for Messer to get a huge out at the plate.
Yeah, he's seems to be settling down a little bit and throwing a couple good pitches to get a couple of strikes on the hitter.
Cooper Bowman and Todd Stevens want to have a quick conference with Messer on the mound. Bradford was going to break it up. He started walking from behind his spot behind home plate, and they had immediately dispersed. So now we are back to baseball. Ball and 2 strikes to count here. Messer looking for his second strikeout. It would be a huge first out here in this top half of a scoreless second with 2 men on. 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit by the third baseman, Hegre, and into left for a base hit. And only 1 base will come out of it for everybody involved. So a single for Brown will advance Brown to second and Downs to third. Bases juiced, no one out. Here comes Jason Mundell, the center fielder.
Not exactly what the Hardhats wanted there, but if there's one silver lining, the speed isn't on the base pass.
That is fair. Here comes Mundell, right-handed batting center fielder. Every base around him is occupied. And the first pitch from Messer going full windup misses low, 1-0. There is nowhere to put Mundell, so if Messer walks him, run comes in, and the Hardhats will trail for the first time in this game. We're deadlocked at zeros right now, a big moment coming up. Here is the 1-0 pitch. And that misses low, a fastball, and it's 2-0. Basically anything out of the infield is going to score a run unless it is an insanely shallow pop fly. 2-0 pitch. High and away, 3 balls and no strikes.
It's always kind of difficult to find the zone after throwing a couple low ones and coming back high there.
3 balls, no strikes. There is nowhere to put Mundell. Bases are loaded, and the 3-0 is a called strike at his knees, and it's 3-1. Ryan Brown on first, Connor Brown on second, Benji Downs on third. And here is the 3-1 pitch. And that misses low for ball 4, and it'll be an RBI walk to Mundell. And the Hardhats trail for the first time in this ball game, 1-0. Wayne Newton post 346, takes the lead.
One of the most disappointing things as a pitcher, you give up a bases loaded walk, but now he's just got to settle down and pitch some strikes.
And not even just a bases loaded walk, but a bases loaded walk with no outs. There's still not a single out recorded in this inning. Here comes Will Kelly, the left fielder, and his first pitch misses low, 1-0. 1-0 to Kelly, who now has Mundell on first and the Browns on second and third. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ball's lined up the middle into center field, drops in front of Connor King for a base hit. King immediately gets the throw in. Sorensen cuts it off at the mound, coming in from first. An RBI single for Will Kelly, and now it's a 2-0 lead for Wayne Newton, post 346. Again, another silver lining, as you were looking for one earlier, Adam, that King was able to play that ball well, get the cutoff in, only limited the damage to 1 run. So now here comes the 9-hole hitter, Caleb Gonser. And his first pitch misses low and away, 1-0. We were talking about pitch count off the air not too long ago. Messer threw 13 in the first inning, and right now he is working on 32 total. This will be his 20th of the frame. 1-0 pitch misses low, 2-0. Base is still loaded here for Messer with no one out. Facing Caleb Gonser, the second baseman, right-handed batter. And the 2-0 rides upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes to count. Big pitch coming up for Messer. He would allow a 3rd run, and it would come on a 2nd RBI base on balls. From the stretch, here's the 3-0. Too far inside, ball 4, and that'll draw another run in. And now it's a 3-0 lead for Wayne Newton, post 346. And the bases are still loaded, and there's still no one out, and back to the top of the order we go.
Tough at bat there for Messer.
Now, as the catcher, Stevens just came out. You've been in that situation before. What are you coming to Messer to say? Is it just a pep talk? Is it anything strategic?
Not really. It's just to get his mind off of it a little bit and tell him it'll be okay.
First pitch to Newman back at the top of the order, misses outside. 1-0 the count. Newman with the bases loaded, has no one out. And his Wayne Newton club is up 3-0. Here is the 1-0. Misses low again, 2-0. Just having trouble finding it, and it seems that the running theme has been he's missed low a lot.
Yeah, and the catcher's done a nice job behind the plate.
2-0, a called strike right at the belt on a fastball, and it's 2-1. And you were mentioning very tough to find the zone, especially if you're missing low. You're just off by a little bit.
Yeah, it's a tough position to play as a pitcher, and there's a lot of pressure on you.
2-0 is lined to second. Messenger gets the catch, the throw to second in time for a humongous double play. Line to second to Messenger. He got the throw to Bowman. You could not have drawn that one up any better, especially at this moment.
Big heads-up play there. Base running error by the hitting team there, but nonetheless a big moment for post 22.
Will Kelly is out now off the base path. It'll be Gonser on first, Jason Mundell on third. Men on the corners now for Brigham Boo. 0 for 1 with the backwards K against Messer. And his first pitch, called strike. A fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Messer's got to be surging with confidence now to know that his defense could have bailed him out there.
Something in the back of your mind as a pitcher, you just got to keep in mind your defense has your back.
0-1 pitch is high and inside, and the count evens up to a ball and a strike now for Boo. Boo with men 90 feet to his left and right. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Hardhats are now trailing 3-0. Wayne Newton posts 346 with 3 runs on a pair of hits in this inning, and the next pitch hit him. And the Hardhats may have gotten away with one there because that ball ended up ricocheting all the way to the backstop. It clipped Boo, so it'll only give him the free pass, reload the bases, and now Cameron Cook comes up.
Yeah, kind of a lucky play for the Hardhats, and definitely would have scored a run if it would have just been a pass ball.
So now Cook comes up. He's 0 for 1. Bases are loaded for him. 2 outs. Wayne Newton has officially batted through the lineup in this inning. First pitch, ripped foul to the meshing behind home plate. 0-1. Messer's at 43 pitches. He's thrown 30 in this inning. Started off with a 13-pitch, 1-2-3 first inning. Been a little bit off the rails since.
Yeah.
No balls and a strike to count here, though, to Cook. And the pitch outside, and the count evens up at 1-1. You noticing anything pitch selection related? Is there anything to kind of explain the lack of control?
Not a whole lot. A lot of first pitch breaking balls in the first inning, but trying to settle down and get that first pitch strike.
Next pitch is fouled off out of the ballpark. 1-2 now the count. Big moment here for Messer. If he can get a second strikeout, it would relieve a ton of pressure. End a jam, and it would send the Hardhats back to the sticks. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed low and away, and the count will even up at 2-2. Bases are loaded here for Cook. Boo is on first, Gonser on second, and Mundell on third. 2-2, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right field. Zach Sumption trailing back towards the warning track. It goes off the wall and it bounces right by him. One run's going to score. Here comes in a second run. A two-out, two-run RBI double for Cameron Cook. And Wayne Newton has a 5-0 lead over the Hardhats. And Coach Torvey is coming to the mound, and I believe that will be it for Drew Messer.
That was a hard hit ball, and lucky that it just hit the base of the wall, but nonetheless, tough outing for Messer.
So Messer will come out, and now it looks like we'll have some defensive substitutions. As I saw Jace Caldwell, the designated hitter, run to the outfield, and I believe Holden Jackson's coming from left field to the dugout to get his glove. If I'm seeing that correctly, Holden Jackson's going to come on out and pitch to close out this top half of the second inning. Folks, we're going to take a minute, step aside, recap everything that you need to know when we come back here in the top of the second. The Hardhats trailing 5-0 early to Wayne Newton, post 346 here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Holden Jackson will come out on the mound to take over for Drew Messer. Messer finished his start 1 2/3 innings of work. He allowed 5 earned runs on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked a trio, but he hit 2 batters as well on 47 pitches. He gives way to Holden Jackson, who on the season comes in for his 10th appearance of the year and his 6th in relief. 4-0 is his record in 26 innings of work, and he's 1 for 1 in save opportunities. 21 strikeouts to 15 walks and a 1.89 ERA. He will immediately take on the man that started this inning, Benji Downs, the cleanup man, with 2 men in scoring position and 2 outs here in the top of the second with his Hardhats trailing 5-0. And his first pitch is low and away to Downs for ball 1. Downs walked and came around to score in this inning. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and fouled to the backstop, and the count evens up at 1-1. It's been a rough inning for the Hardhats. This is the 10th batter that has come to the batter's box for Wayne Newton, post 346. They currently have the 5-0 lead over post 22. Holden Jackson on the mound. He's going to go full windup, and the righty deals his 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. 1-2. I should have warned you, Holden Jackson has a dynamite breaking ball.
I can tell.
It has some beautiful arc to it. Ball and 2 strikes the count. Let's see if he goes back to it. And the 1-2 to Downs. Swung on, and it's fouled. He went right back to it, and he was just ahead. Ball and 2 strikes the count.
Reminds me a lot of the Riley McSherry breaking ball.
Right. Riley's breaking ball is spot on, and his fastball has some great movement as well. Riley McSherry played for the Hardhats the last couple of seasons. Plays for Adams Spearfish Sasquatch of the Expedition Summer League. 1-2 pitch. Fastball is down. Stevens gets the block behind home plate, 2-2. Jackson really needs this out right here. Just end the inning, get the 1 out, reset, bring the team back to offense, let them do their job. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on, line to short, and Bowman's right there for the catch. And that'll end the bleeding and the top half of the second. 5 runs were scored on 3 hits. No errors charged to the Hardhats, and 2 men left on the base path in scoring position. We've played 1.5 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats find themselves behind a 5-0 deficit as they come back to offense in the bottom half of the second. The Hardhats will see Jackson, the left fielder turned pitcher, Sumption, the right fielder turned left fielder, and Todd Stevens slated to hit. We'll be right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 definitely has its work cut out for him. Down 5-0 as they come to the bottom half of the second against Wayne Newton, post 346, representing Terre, Haute, Indiana. Wayne Newton got 5 runs on 3 hits with no errors, 3 walks, and 2 hit batsmen in the inning. Now the Hardhats come back to it with Holden Jackson leading off. He started off the game in left field. He has since come in to relieve on the mound, and he fouls off his first pitch. He's behind 0-1. Holden Jackson on the season offensively. 346 average. This is the 24th time out of now 40 games for the Hardhats that he has seen action in the batter's box. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball called strike. 0-2 to Jackson. Pitch had some late break. Nice changeup there. And here comes the 0-2. Swung on. Ball's fought off foul. Jackson extended his hands and went opposite field and out of play. Count holds 0-2.
It's interesting to see when Newman changes his arm slot in a pitcher's count or in a hitter's count. It's just kind of odd.
Here comes the 0-2 again to Jackson. Swung on, ball's lined into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Holden Jackson trying to get something started for the Hardhats. He gets the first hit of the ball game for his team to lead off the bottom half of the second. That's going to bring up Zach Sumption, the right fielder turned left fielder.
It's a big inning for Hardhats. The post 346 is trying to have a shutdown inning and close the door a little bit. Big inning for the Hardhats.
Zach Sumption batting .304 coming into this at-bat. Jackson takes his lead off of first. Newman will pitch from the stretch, and his first pitch is a called strike. Fastball at the knees of Sumption. It's 0-1. And you're absolutely right, a huge inning. The Hardhats have to get some kind of offense going here. Here's the 0-1. Called strike. Another fastball, changing the arm slot again. It's 0-2. That's got to mess with the batter's eyes the more they see it.
Yeah, you're trying to get into a rhythm, and then all of a sudden it changes.
0-2 pitch. Caught him looking, strike 3. Zach Sumption strikes out on 3 pitches, and that's the first K in the book for Newman. 1 out with Holden Jackson still on first base, and that'll bring us to Todd Stevens making his first appearance in the Firecracker tournament. Stevens has only seen action swinging the bat in 16 games, but he's batting 0.06 of a point shy of 400 on the year. See if he can get something going here for the Hardhats. First pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left field. It has the legs, it has the distance, and it has left the ballpark. That's a 2-run blast for Todd Stevens on the first pitch he's seen in the tournament. And the Hardhats are on the board, trailing 5-2 to Wayne Newton, post 346.
They're trying to see the ball well. You don't get mixed up with that different arm angle by taking the first pitch out of the yard. Big at-bat right there.
That was a huge swing for the Hardhats. They have some life, early stages of the ball game, but they have some life with a 2-run bomb of a shot from Todd Stevens, and that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Mason Messenger, with an empty base path and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Now a 5-2 ball game with Wayne Newton still in the lead.
That should definitely push him over 400.
First pitch to Messenger, a called strike on a breaking ball. 0-1 the count to Messenger. Messenger on the season batting a dead even 300. And his 0-1 is popped high in the air, first base side, but foul and out of play. And quickly Messenger finds himself in an 0-2 hole. No balls and 2 strikes. And Evan Newman's 0-2 to Messenger. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air. Shallow right field. Backing up from second is Gonster, and he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 down with an empty base path, and we go back to the top of the order to Connor King for post 22.
Kind of a tough play that made it look simple with the shadows out there coming into play.
Todd Stevens, by the way, hit his first home run of the season, his 8th and 9th runs batted in. He now has 14 hits on the year and 34 at-bats in 43 plate appearances. 10 singles, 3 doubles, no triples, and he's left the yard once. Ball 1 dealt to Connor King. He starts off 1-0 in his second time against Evan Newman. 0 for 1 with an unassisted ground out to first. 1-0 pitch, swung on, ball's hit to first again, stops Made on the play by Downs. He touches the bag, gets the 3rd out, and that'll do it. 2 3-U's in the book for Connor King. And that ends the bottom half of the second. The Hardhats do get some offense, though. 2 runs on the power of 2 hits, including a powerful one from Todd Stevens. No errors charged to Wayne Newton, and nobody left on the base path. We played 2 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats are on the board, but they trail 5-2. Holden Jackson to resume his relief duties to start off the top of the 3rd when we come back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Two innings are in the books, and now we have some runs to talk about, but more of them belong to Wayne Newton than they do the Hardhats. 5-2 is the score for Wayne Newton, post 346 through 2 frames of play as we head into the top of the 3rd. Numbers across the board for Wayne Newton, it's 5 runs on 3 hits and no errors. And for the Hardhats, it's 2 runs on 2 hits, including a 2-run bomb from Todd Stevens, no errors in the field. Mark Benetti and the voice of the Spearfish Sasquatch, Adam Birch, alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City. 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Holden Jackson taking over for Drew Messer on the mound. Messer only lasted an inning and 2/3 in his start. Gave up all 5 runs that the Hardhats have allowed in this ball game on a strikeout with 3 walks, 2 hit batsmen, and 3 hits. And again, it was just a tough go for Messer. He just couldn't find the zone. He was missing low, then he'd miss high. He tried to overcorrect, and then that's when he really got into trouble.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was overthrowing a little bit, and then he just couldn't find the zone.
So now Holden Jackson comes back on the mound. He will take on Connor Brown, Ryan Brown, the lefty, and Jason Mundell, the center fielder. First pitch to Brown is low and inside, 1-0. Connor Brown he was hit by a pitch, came around to score. Back in that big top half of the second for Wayne Newton, post 346. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ball's lined into right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Jace Caldwell into field at just shy of the warning track, and he guns it in to Mason Messenger at second. That looked like it could have been extra bases, but some good fielding from Caldwell limited it to just a leadoff single, and that'll bring up Ryan Brown.
Very nice play to hustle over there and cut the ball off and keep it into a leadoff single instead of a double.
Just the 4th hit of the ball game here for Wayne Newton, despite having 5 runs on the board. That's going to bring up the left-handed hitting third baseman, Ryan Brown, who got the 1st hit of the ball game for post 346. Jackson from the stretch looks to first, and his first pitch buzzes the tower high and inside on Brown. 1-0. The leadoff position so crucial, and right now in 3 innings, the leadoff man for Wayne Newton's 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. 1-0 pitch is ripped into right field. Caldwell's underneath it, but then the ball goes over his head. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Rounding first and heading to second is Brown, and stopping at third is Connor Brown. So back-to-back hits to start off the inning. A single followed by a double. And now it's 2 men in scoring position with no one out. And that's going to bring up Jason Mundell, the center fielder, who has an RBI base on balls and a run scored under his belt. And it looks like they're going to get a... Oh, no, they weren't going to get a courtesy runner. I saw somebody running from the dugout to second. They were just dropping equipment off. So here comes Mundell. RBI base on balls under his belt. And first pitch from Jackson. Bunt was showed. He pulled back, and it's a ball. 1-0. Jackson has reverted back to the full windup. And Jack Sorensen over at first is just behind the fringe. Ball and no strikes the count here to Mundell. Jackson full windup, and the pitch is low. Bunt again was showed and pulled back. 1-1. Look, you have no outs, 2 men on. Why not go for the bunt?
It's interesting to see a fake little squeeze play there.
Now the corners are in. 2-0 pitch, a called strike on a fastball at the knees. And it's 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to Mundell, with Will Kelly, the left fielder, on deck. Men on second and third. 2-1 pitch. Bunt showed and pulled back. 3-1. Sorensen on first is on the grass. Just shy of the grass now. Haggerty is coming in towards the grass on third. Both gentlemen practically on the fringe. 3-1 pitch, swung on. Ball's hit high in the air to left field. Sumption coming over, as is King from center, and they're going to defer to King. He makes the catch and guns it in. And a sac fly RBI will be credited to Mundell, as coming in from third to score is Connor Brown. And now it is a 6-2 Wayne Newton lead with 1 out and a man on second here in the top half of the third.
Kind of a weird play to keep the corners on their toes and show bunt, but then nice high sacrifice fly out to center field.
And it was deep enough that despite the good throw from King to get it in, there was not going to be a play at the plate. First pitch to Kelly is upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Kelly, who is 1 for 1. He has an RBI single under his belt. Back in that big top of the second. 6-2 now, the Wayne Newton lead. And the 1-0 is a called strike on a fastball outside corner. 1-1 now the count. Kelly has Ryan Brown standing on second with 1 out here in the top of the third. Hardhats trying to limit the damage. 1-1. Ball is turned on high in the air to left field, and that is going to drop at the wall and take a bounce. 1 run's going to come in to score. And standing on second with an RBI double is Will Kelly, and it's now a 7-2 Wayne Newton lead. Got to give Wayne Newton credit. At first they were giving free passes. Now they're really starting to smack the ball here.
They're definitely putting bat on ball now, and that ball is roped down the line.
So an RBI double to Kelly. That's going to bring up Caleb Gonser, the second baseman. He also has an RBI walk under his belt. Man on second, 1 out, looking to switch places. First pitch is that trusty breaking ball from Jackson, but it misses low and away. 1-0. All in no strikes to count as Jackson will come from the stretch. And he delivers. Fastball upstairs, 2-0. It's unfortunate for Hardhats pitching. There's not too much control here. Messer at first. Jackson, he's done all right for himself, but he's been a little off in some places. 2-0 pitch. Misses outside, 3-0.
It comes back to the importance of a first pitch strike.
3 balls and no strikes to count here to Caleb Gonser. Jackson agrees on a sign. And the 3-0 is a called strike at the knees of Gonser. Fastball, it's 3-1. Three and one the count. And Jackson deals. Swung on and missed. That was a big cut. And the count goes full now to Gonser.
Very nice pitch there on the outside part of the plate.
That was a fence or bust swing. No doubt about it. Big payoff pitch here for Jackson. He could use a second out. And here's the 3-2. And that misses low for ball 4. That'll be the first walk that he's issued in relief. That puts men on first and second with 1 out, and that'll bring us all the way back to the top of the order to Evan Newman. Any silver lining here, Adam, is that Newman is the only person on this lineup that has not reached the base path, and he's hit into a double play, too. So you got to hope that that plays into the Hardhats' side of things here as Jackson goes to throw his pitches.
We'll see if they pitch him aggressively with that in mind.
Men on first and second here for Newman, the pitching counterpart of Jackson. And the first pitch is over the letters, 1-0. Newman again 0 for 2. Grounded out to short to start off the entire ball game. And then in a very clutch situation, he lined into a 4-6 double play with the bases loaded. 1-0 pitch, missed low and away. 2-0 now the count to Newman. Gonser on first, Kelly on second. They both take their leads. 2-0 pitch. It's upstairs. 3-0. Three balls, no strikes to Newman now. And the 3-0. Called strike. Fastball at the knees, it's 3-1. Comes back to simplifying, too. When you're not finding the zone, just throw strikes. If your fastball's working, beat it like a dead horse until it doesn't, and then vice versa with your breaking pitches. 3-1 is fouled off first base side. And now the count goes full.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. If you're not finding the zone, just simplify it down and rely on your defense behind you.
Big payoff pitch coming up from Jackson, and he deals. Up high, ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Jackson. That makes 5 on the day for the Hardhats pitching staff. And now, pitching coordinator Ryan Klapperich is going to come out and have a quick word with his left fielder turned pitcher. Unfortunate sequence of events here for the Hardhats, who now trail 7-2. Another bases-loaded situation. It's going to bring up Brigham Boo, who's 0 for 1 with a backwards K and a walk. I'm sorry, a hit by pitch. I mean, you think about that. 7 free base runners, 2 hit batsmen, and 5 of them walked. Just the story of the game is a lack of control here for Hardhats pitching.
And I think that mound visit was a lot to do with first pitch strike, find your zone early, because these hitters have seen a lot of pitches in this game, and first pitch strikes are big.
Corners are in. Infield at double play depth. The middle infield, I should say. First pitch to Boo is low for ball 1. 1-0 the count. And to think when Boo got hit by the pitch, it was a 1-1 count. You were dead even with him. No real advantage. 1-0 pitch. Misses low again. Stevens gets the block. Everybody stays put. And now it's 2-0 from Jackson to Boo. But again, simplifying too. Just find the strike zone. Again, your fastball's working. Throw fastballs. Beat it like a dead horse if you have to. Here's the 2-0 to Boo. Swung on and fouled. Towards the backstop, it's 2-1.
Yeah, if anything, let them put bat on ball and trust your defense.
Exactly. Induce contact. Go with the low breaking ball that's just going to barely clip the zone. maybe try to get that outside corner, make the batter throw his hands at the ball. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed on an inside pitch, 2-2. Nice pitch location there from Jackson. The Hardhats could use more of that. Bases loaded here for Boo. Jackson trying to relieve some of the pressure with one out here in the top of the third. And the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, caught him looking, strike 3. There's that colossal breaking ball, 2 down. Some pressure relieved, bases still loaded. That's going to bring up Cameron Cook.
That ball definitely froze the hitter, and it would have froze me too. Had a lot of movement on it.
I think it froze all of us up here. We're not even suited up. 2 down, bases still jacked. That's going to bring up Cameron Cook, who's 1 for 2. With a 2-run RBI double and a ground out to short. And there is that big bender of a breaking ball. Called strike, 0-1.
He found that the zone with that one, and now he has some confidence.
No balls in to strike the count. We'll see if he goes back to it again or if he switches up. Here is the 0-1 pitch. That's high and away, a fastball, and it's 1-1. Every base occupied with Newman on first, Gonser on second, and Kelly on third. Ball and a strike the count with the Hardhats trailing by 5. And the 1-1 misses low and away. Stevens couldn't get the block, and everybody's going to advance a base, and another runner will score. 2 balls and a strike the count to Cook, and the pass ball will bring Newman to second, Gonser to third, and it'll knock in Kelly. And now it's an 8-2 Wayne Newton lead.
Toughest thing as a catcher there, and allowing the pass ball when your pitcher's getting into a rhythm.
Here's a 2-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to center field. Connor King is underneath it, battles the sun, makes the catch. And that ends the top half of the third. Wayne Newton deals even more damage. 3 runs on the power of 3 hits. No errors charged to the Hardhats. 2 men left on the base path, both in scoring position. We have played 2.5 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats once again see a big deficit. It's a 6-run deficit and an 8-2 Wayne Newton lead. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom of the third. Hegre, Bowman, and Sorensen slated to hit here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Fans, don't forget that on Monday, July 9th, not tomorrow, next Monday, we have our annual Dining on the Diamond Spaghetti Dinner. It's a free dinner to all of our season ticket holders and sponsors. The guys, the post-22 players, that is, will serve you your meal. So you can have your favorite player give you your pasta dish. They'll be wearing white shirts, bow ties, and cummerbunds, just like professional waiters would. And it's a pasta dinner, so you really can't say no to it. Be honest with ourselves. Would you say no to a pasta dinner where your favorite player could give you your meal?
Definitely not.
Exactly. Here we go to Matt Hegre leading off the bottom of the third, and he fouls off his first pitch. Kind of jammed him inside. Evan Newman still on the mound for the Wayne Newton post 346 side. 0-1 now to Hegre. Swung on and missed a breaking ball, and it's 0-2 quickly. Hegre making his firecracker debut today. He walked in his first plate appearance. Here is his 0-2 pitch. Caught him looking, strike 3. And there's K number 2 for Evan Newman. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats brings us to Cooper Bowman.
Quickly, just 3 pitches in that bat, and look for Bowman to get the Hardhats a little bit of life.
Try and get something going here for them. First pitch to Bowman, fouled off. 0-1 the count. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. Here's something to note, too. I know Newman only has 2 strikeouts, but both of them are on 3 pitches, and both of them are backwards Ks. So think about that. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul. That was an inside pitch that jammed up Bowman, and quickly he's in an 0-2 hole. And to think on Sumptions, he didn't even swing at the bat, or swing at the ball.
Yeah, it's big as a pitcher when you're in the zone and you have that much confidence.
No balls and 2 strikes to count. And here's the 0-2 from Newman to Bowman. Pitch is swung on, lined into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And it's fielded by Kelly. He'll get it in. And Bowman gets a 1-out single for his first hit of the ball game. And that'll bring us now to the cleanup man, Jack Sorensen, with a man on. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. The Hardhats trailing 8-2. The early stages of this ball game, and if there's any silver lining to this, I know we've been talking about silver linings and all these moral victories, but 9-inning baseball game, there is still plenty to be played.
Yeah, in the heart of the order coming up, big inning.
Sorensen shows bunt, pulls back, but it was a called strike anyway. 0-1 the count to Sorensen. He's 0 for 1. With men on first and second, he took his first pitch in the bottom of the 1st and flew out to right. Newman looks to Bowman off of first, and the 0-1 runner goes. Pitch is swung on, ball's hit to 3rd. Stop made on the play by Brown, and his throw to first is in time. So Bowman advances to 2nd in the sequence. Sorensen grounds out 5-3. 2 down with a man in scoring position, and that'll bring up the DH, Jace Caldwell, where he was the DH. Now he's the right fielder. Caldwell 0 for 1 with an inning-ending ground out to short, with men in first and second back in the 1st. Newman looks to Bowman at 2nd. Here's his first pitch. Missed low and away, and the block was made by Connor Brown. 1-0. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Hardhats trail 8-2. Game 3 of pool play in the 43rd annual Firecracker Tournament. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, called strike. 1-1. Yeah, you're right, Adam. Evan Newman, he is red hot right now. Here's the 1-1. Pitch is fouled off behind home plate. 1-2 now to Caldwell.
He seems to be going to that kind of sidearm delivery later in the count against a lot of the batters after they've seen him use his normal motion a couple pitches.
1-2, fouled into the glove, strike 3, and that'll end it. 3 strikeouts now for Evan Newman. He is rolling, and the Hardhats can't reciprocate here in the bottom of the 3rd. No runs on a hit with no errors and a man stranded in scoring position. We played 3 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats trail 8-2. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top of the 4th inning in just a few moments here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, by Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Holden Jackson back on the mound to start off the top of the 4th. He will take on 4, 5, and 6 in the Wayne Newton post 346 order. And first baseman Benji Downs, catcher Connor Brown, and left-handed hitting third baseman Ryan Brown. Numbers across the board through 3 innings of play for Wayne Newton post 346. Clearly in the driver's seat in this one. It's 8 runs on 6 hits, no errors on defense. And for the Hardhats, only 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors in the field. Mark Benetti and Spearfish Sasquatch broadcaster Adam Birch alongside you for this 3rd game pool play of the 2018 Firecracker Tournament. Such a big spectacle with some great quality talent. Rocky Mountain, Colorado, Premier West out of Denver. Missoula Mavericks have played the Hardhats very tough, didn't necessarily at the start of the tournament. Obviously, Wayne Newton from Terre Haute, Indiana. Merced, California. 6 teams just like the first tournament 43 years ago. Jackson goes to the breaking ball on his first pitch to Benji Downs. 1-0 the count as it's too far inside. Downs 0 for 1 with a leadoff walk that turned into a run and an inning-ending lineout to Cooper Bowman. Ball and no strikes the count to Downs, and the 1-0. Misses low and skips. 2-0. Adam, talk to us about the dugout here. Obviously, team's going through a rough spell. Pitcher's control is at a premium right now. What's the vibe like in there?
It's a little more mellow down there, but they're looking to.
2-0 pitch hit high in the air to center. King had to backtrack just shy of the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Go ahead.
They're looking to provide some energy to the players on the field, and hopefully they're able to give them some energy from the dugout. And yeah.
1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Connor Brown, the catcher. Brown is 1 for 1, hit by a pitch that turned into a run, and then he singled and scored back in the top of the 3rd. Empty base path for him and 1 out. And his first pitch rides upstairs. 1-0. This Wayne Newton team is absolutely no slouch, but you do have to agree here, Adam, that the storyline of this game, they've been handed a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0. Pitch is swung on. Ball's hit high in the air to left center field. That ball has some legs on it. King comes from center field, and he makes the catch on the run. Zach Sumption coming in from left had to slide to avoid any kind of contact. That would have blown the play up. A big out. Connor King showing off his defensive range. 2 up, 2 down. That's going to bring up Ryan Brown.
A couple of really long runs for King out there in center and makes the plays both times.
Here comes the left-handed hitting third baseman, Ryan Brown. He's 2 for 2. Single and a double, and both times he's come around. First pitch, a breaking ball right at his letters. 1-0. 8 runs on 6 hits, and again, Wayne Newton, they've earned a lot in this game, but they've also been handed 2 hit batsmen and 5 walks from the pitching staff. Next pitch, a called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. So that's what I meant by they've been handed a lot in this game, but they have cashed into their credit.
Right, they've just seen a lot of pitches. And
1-1, that breaking ball fouled off. Third base side. Jackson in the driver's seat, 1-2.
And sometimes it's nice to take the first pitch for a ride, and other times it's you just sit back and wait for your pitch, and they've definitely sat back and waited.
Ball and 2 strikes to count. Jackson looking for his second K. It would end the inning. Here's the 1-2. Swung on. Ball's fouled. That breaking ball again. Brown was early on it. 1-2. Jackson already has a backwards K on that patented breaking ball. Let's see if he goes back to it. Brown's fought it off. He might change it up here. Here comes the 1-2 again. Pitch is fouled off. That was a fastball. Count will hold at 1-2.
Had him out on his front foot with that breaking ball, and came back, and Brown's still battling.
If Jackson gets out of this inning, then he has pitched 2 1/3 innings. He's already eclipsed 50 pitches. So he's got 2 innings under his belt. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball dipped too low, and the count evens at 2-2. So at just about 2 pitches of work, he's had 25 in each one, granted, and this is in relief. These hard hat pitch counts are just up. On the other side of things, Evan Newman's only thrown 39 pitches in the 3 innings he's worked. 2-2. Missed low. Payoff pitch coming up. That really puts it in perspective that 2 pitchers are upwards of 100 pitches on this next one. It'll be 53 from Jackson and then 47 from Messer. Newman hasn't even thrown 40 yet. Here comes the payoff pitch. Pitch is up high for ball 4. And Brown walks. So a 2-out walk. Hardhats can't get out 1-2-3 fashion. Continues the inning and brings up Jason Mundell.
It's definitely night and day. It's one side struggling to find the zone, and the other side with just straight confidence.
First pitch. Too far inside, almost hit Mundell, 1-0. Mundell still doesn't have a registered at-bat. He has 2 plate appearances, an RBI walk, and a sac fly RBI. So he's had a good day at the plate so far. 1-0 pitch is a called strike. Fastball right at his belt, and the count evens at 1-1. It's funny how the sport of baseball can be like that. One side can't find anything. The next side just pounds the zone relentless. And then I guarantee if these teams try to play again, it'd be the exact opposite. It could be. Mundell tried to bunt, and it went down the line foul, 1-2. Not saying that it will be, but, I mean, who knows? Maybe these two teams play for the Firecracker Championship on July 4th, and instead it's an 8-2 Hardhats lead in the 4th inning.
Yeah, it's just baseball is one of those sports you're either on or you're not, and
yeah. Frustrating to say that, but it's the truth. Check to first, not there in time as Brown is back, and Mundell still has yet to see his 1-2 pitch. It'll be pitch number 57 in relief from Holden Jackson, and I'd be interested to see how far he goes after this inning. With that being said, 1-2 pitch just missed on the inside corner. He went with the breaking ball. He and the rest of his teammates started walking off the field. And in disbelief, he walks back to the mound and has to throw another one at 2-2. If that missed, it was by a centimeter, maybe less. 2-2. Swung on. Ball's chopped to the left side. Bowman gets it on the high hop, and he missed on the play, but then he gets the tag at second, catching the runner asleep. Oh, my goodness. That almost turned into disaster for the Hardhats, and quickly came the complete opposite direction.
Heads-up play there, and yeah, he didn't have a play at first, but he got the out.
And that is all she wrote. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We have played 3.5 innings of this matchup of undefeateds, and the Hardhats still trail 8-2. We'll take a step aside and come right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV with the bottom half of inning number 4. Hardhats are back to it here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, trailing 8-2 against Wayne Newton, post 346, hailing from Terre, Haute, Indiana. They are named Wayne Newton, post 346, after Wayne Newton, who was the first person from Indiana to fall in World War II at Pearl Harbor. One of the many ways that the American Legion remembers those that have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and those who still made a sacrifice to be a part of our military and defend our freedoms. And that's exactly what the Firecracker Tournament does here. 43rd running of the Firecracker, presented by Camping World. And Coach Plouffe organized the first ever tournament back in 1975. Coincidentally enough, 6 teams participated. And fans embraced this tournament, and it turned into such a spectacle with the champion being crowned on the 4th of July. And just a great way to pay tribute to those who have sacrificed so much for us. As we have on our PA read every game at this tournament, we say that we are the land of the free because of the hearts of the brave. And that rings true every day that we celebrate those fine men and women. To the bottom of the fourth and back to baseball we go. The pitcher, Holton Jackson, will lead off for the Hardhats. 1-for-1 with a leadoff single that came back at the bottom of the second. Let's see if Lightning strikes twice for him. His first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. A fastball, it's 0-1. No balls and a strike to count to Jackson. And the 0-1 pitch swung on. Ball's hit high in the air to left center field. Ball has some distance on it. Mundell has to run and backtracks. And he makes the catch just shy of the warning track for out number 1. Mark Benetti and Spearfish Sasquatch broadcaster Adam Birch alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. It's got to feel pretty cool to hear that. Adam Birch, Spearfish broadcaster.
Oh, yeah.
Well, get used to it. It's a lot of fun being in this business. Here comes Zach Sumption, an empty base path and 1 out. And the first pitch to Sumption is low for ball 1. Adam was my intern with the Rapid City Rush hockey team this year in the ECHL and earned the opportunity to be the inaugural broadcaster for the Sasquatch in this Expedition League season. Sumption with a tough out at first. Coming over from short to make the play was Brigham Boo. And he threw it out to first to get the out. Sumption retired, 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. And Todd Stevens, who has provided the only runs of the ball game for the Hardhats in the sense of his 2-run bomb back at the bottom of the second, is now up.
Yeah, it's tough when the bats aren't going your way, and then you have plays like that keep you from getting base runners.
First pitch to Stevens, fouled off. Just a tad bit late on that inside pitch. 0-1 the count. Stevens took the first pitch he saw back in his first at-bat and absolutely turned on it over the left field wall. Here's his 0-1. Pitch is swung on, ball's chopped to short. Boo makes the stop on the run to his left, throw to first in time. And that will end the frame. That was relatively quick. The Hardhats on offense go down 1-2-3, which as we all know means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. We've played 4 frames of baseball, and Wayne Newton still has the lead at 8-2 as we head to the 5th. We'll be right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. This game in front of us here as we start off the top of the 5th between the last 2 undefeated teams in pool play at the Firecracker. This is game number 4 of the day. The schedule format has 3 games played a day, but yesterday the 3 o'clock game between Rocky Mountain and Premier West, the Colorado Showdown, was postponed just so they could get the Hardhats and Merced, California in that night. Make sure that they were able to get that game in. That game was played this morning at 9, and they shortened it from a 9-inning to a 7-inning game. Premier West got their first win of the tournament with a 6-3 win over Rocky Mountain, then immediately fired right back at 11 to play against Merced, California, and Merced took a 9-8 victory. Rocky Mountain then came back to action, took on the Missoula Mavericks, and walked off against Missoula and took a 6-5 victory in that one. Post 22 and Wayne Newton still at a 2-0 record, Rocky Mountain at 2-1. Merced, California, and Premier West at 1-2, and Missoula still winless at 0-3. Holton Jackson back on the mound to start off the top of the 5th. The bunt is showed. He fields it on the mound. Throw to first in time. What a great play by Holton Jackson to deny Will Kelly of a leadoff bunt single. That should hopefully get some energy for this Hardhats club as Caleb Gonser comes to the plate.
Yeah, what a play on the mound by Jackson, coming to his left and then throwing off balance. I mean, a strong throw to get the out.
When I saw him take that windup while he was shifting backwards, I was thinking to myself, he's going to airmail this. There is no way that throw's going to be on track, and sure enough it was, and he got a big first out. Gonser looks at a first pitch low and starts off 1-0.
Yeah, it takes crazy athleticism to do that, and he made it look easy.
Amen to that. Here comes a 1-0 to Gonser. And that just missed low, a fastball. 2-0 now to Gonser, who is 0 for 0. 2 walks, one of them of the RBI variety with the bases loaded, and he's got a run scored. Here's his 2-0. That one hits him. And for the third time, Caleb Gonser gets a free pass, this time by a hit by pitch. It comes with 1 out, and it brings us back to the top of the order to Jackson's pitching counterpart, Evan Newman. That's the third hit batsman today by Hardhats pitching. On top of, what did I say that was? It was 5 walks, so that's 8 free base runners today.
Tough to win ball games like that.
Here comes the first pitch to Newman. He lines that one high in the air to right field. Caldwell on track, makes the catch, and gets out number 2 on the first pitch that Newman sees. Big second out. That brings up Brigham Boo, who's 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a pair of backwards Ks.
Yeah, that was a big 1-pitch out from Jackson. Good way to settle down a little bit.
Well, and heck, we were talking earlier, both on and off the air, with Jackson now at 63 pitches. How long is he going to go? We're in the top of the 5th inning here. And he took over for a starter that barely went under 2. First pitch was up high to Boo, and then the throw to first wasn't there in time from Stevens. 1-0 the count to Boo. Still looking for his first hit in the ballgame. But you'd have to wonder, I mean, Jackson can start a ball game. It's not that he can't. So he's going to get a starter's pitch count, if you will. But next pitch, swung on, ball is hit. Diving stop by Bowman. Throw to second is not there. It was there in time, but Messenger couldn't snag it. And the inning keeps going. And Boo safe at first and safe at second is Gonser. And that'll be an E4. Just when we talk about free base runners and continuing the inning, that is an error you cannot take, especially with 2 outs.
Yeah, a great stop by Bowman there, but unfortunately the error keeps the inning going.
So now here comes Cameron Cook. He's 1 for 3 with a 2-run RBI double. You've got to hope that doesn't happen again, considering that this at-bat, figuratively speaking, shouldn't happen. First pitch, a breaking ball inside, a called strike to Cook. 0-1 the count from Jackson. I think Jackson could have gotten out of that inning in single-digit pitches, too. This next pitch is 9. It's a swing and a miss. 0-2. So now pitch number 10 coming up. That could have been a very efficient inning. Instead, it's not to say that 10's a bad inning, but, you know, just on the momentum side of things to think, hey, that was a single-digit pitch inning. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that will be strikeout number 2 for Holden Jackson. And that'll be the end of the top half of inning number 5. No runs, no hits, 1 error charged to the Hardhats. 2 men left on the base path. We've played 4.5 innings of baseball. We're at halftime of the ball game, if you will. And Post 22 still trails 8-2 to Wayne Newton. Post for 3:46. We will take a step aside and come right back with the bottom half of the 5th to kick off the second half of the ball game. Mason Messenger slated to hit first here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Mason Messenger leads off the bottom half of the 5th inning. Post 22 trailing 8-2. 8 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Wayne Newton. Post 346. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Hardhats. Messenger's first pitch hit high in the air behind home plate. Connor Brown looking for it, and he makes a difficult catch for out number 1. And Adam, you and I have talked about all baseball game. You need some offense. You need a spark. You need a big play to happen. And that is a complete 180 from what you need right now.
Yeah, it's tough. For 1 pitch, 1 out, and just more confidence pumped into the pitcher.
Here comes Connor King back at the top of the order. Messenger now goes to 0 for 2 on the game. Connor King 0 for 2, a pair of unassisted groundouts to first. And his first pitch misses for ball 1. 1-0 to the only lefty in the lineup. Evan Newman has just been insanely efficient. Bottom of the 5th inning with 1 out. He's about to throw his 48th pitch. And it's a fastball outside, 2-0 to King. And the pitch. Called strike inside. Against King. And time is called by Connor King. It should be 2 balls and a strike, and that's exactly what we're going to get from the home plate umpire, Robert Bradford. 2-1 now to King. And Newman deals. Pitch is swung on, chopped foul in front of the Wayne Newton dugout. 2-2. Game started at 7:03. We are just approaching an hour and a half at 8:24 tonight. Here is the 2-2 to King. Pitch is swung on, balls lined into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Right in front of Jason Mundell, and Connor King gets his first hit of the ball game, going opposite field. It'll be a 1-out single, and that's going to bring up Matt Hegre, who's 0 for 1 with a backwards K and a walk in his Firecracker tournament debut.
Good at bat there by King, making Newman throw a couple pitches and get him off of his rhythm a little bit. And now he stands on first with only 1 out.
Now here comes Hegre, and King has wheels too. Let's see if he tries to get some movement going on the base path and try and spark his team. Check to first, not there in time, so you know Newman is privy to that. We still have yet to see a first pitch to Matt Hegre. Hardhats trail 8-2. 1 out, a man on first here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Hegre. He tried to drop the bunt, and it caroms foul. 0-1. Think he goes back to the bunt?
Yeah, I would say so.
If he's trying to bunt for a hit, that's really his only chance to do it, because now you know the defense is going to adjust. See if he swings away or if he shows. 0-1 pitch, he swings away. Ball's hit high in the air, though, right to second. Gonser underneath it makes the catch, and that'll be out number 2. 2 down. King still standing on first. Brings us now to Cooper Bowman. Bowman 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a single. He's really been the only one in this lineup that's rattled Newman, if he's even been rattled, really. It's the only way I can think of. On a 1-2 count, he got hit by the pitch. And then on an 0-2, he drilled it for a single. The only one to really get to him, I guess, is the way I should have said that. First pitch, ripped foul. First base side out of the ballpark. 0-1 the count to Bowman with King still standing on first. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. It's an 8-2 Wayne Newton lead. Post 346 out of Terre, Haute, Indiana. Here's the 0-1. Pitch is swung on. Ball's hit opposite field, but foul. And once again out of the ballpark. 0-2 once again the count to Bowman. Newman has 3 strikeouts. Looking for number 4. He would end the inning if he rung it up. Bowman steps back in. King leads off of first. And the 0-2 misses low. King goes. It was a delayed steal. And he's safe at second as the ball was dropped by Brown behind home plate. So King in motion gets to scoring position now. A big swing coming up here from Bowman. 1-2 count. Time called as Brown tried to regather himself behind home plate. And it looks like he's all right. Ball and 2 strikes. Ball may have hit his gut, actually, when it bounced up. He tried to settle it. I know they've got that chest pad on, but it must have hit him like right in that soft spot underneath the pads.
Doesn't feel too good.
Well, you're a catcher. You would know. 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Ball's pushed into right field for a base hit. Cooper Bowman goes opposite field. King rounds third. He's going to come in to score. A 2-out RBI single for Cooper Bowman, who's batting 1,000 on the night. And the Hardhats get another run, and it's 8-3. Wayne Newton still on top.
Another nice at bat by Cooper Bowman, and gets an RBI out of it.
How big was that pass ball for Connor King to move to second?
Huge.
I don't think that run scores. If anything, you're lucky if you've got men on the corners in that situation if he doesn't move. Here comes Jack Sorensen. He's 0 for 2. First pitch, called strike on a breaking ball inside. 0-1 the count. Sorensen flew out to right and then grounded out to third. Both times he was the second out of the inning. 2 have already registered, so he would end the inning if he was retired again. 0-1 pitch, swung on, lined into center field. That ball's going to drop for a base hit. Bowman advances to second, and Sorensen gets his first hit with 2 outs. And now it's men on first and second, and that'll bring up Jace Caldwell, the right fielder. Started off the game as the DH, but came in as a substitution to right. Caldwell has ended an inning twice with a ground out to short and a strikeout. 0 for 2 looking for his first hit, would probably bring in another run. Bowman on second, Sorensen on first. First pitch is fouled. First base side now to play. 0-1. Newman now at 60 pitches compared to Jackson at 68. Jackson's pitched less than Newman has. He still has more. 0-1 pitch. High and inside to Caldwell, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Cooper Bowman leads off a second. Sorensen off a first. A huge lead. Nobody covering first. 1-1 pitch. Misses low and away on a fastball, and it's 2-1 now to Caldwell. Middle of the order, I should say, due up for Wayne Newton here in the top of the 6th if they get there. Game of cat and mouse going on between Newman and Bowman at second. Time was called, but Newman had already started throwing the ball. So Caldwell got time granted, still 2-1. That's always got to be frustrating when you're just about ready to throw. You're not going to stop your motion. You get hurt.
Right, and the runners are just trying to make them think a little bit, make them pay attention to them, and
always a fun game of cat and mouse. 2-1 to Caldwell. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air, foul territory. That comes behind home plate, and it takes a big bounce in the crowd. No casualties. And the count will hold even at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Jace Caldwell with men on first and second. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. The Hardhats trail 8-3. 2-2. Swung on, balls hit in the middle. Right to second by a diving second Gonser. It's into center for a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Sorensen to third. He's safe. Caldwell to second. He's safe. A 2-out RBI single for Jace Caldwell. He advances to second, and Sorensen advances to third, and the Hardhats have cut the deficit in half now. It's 8-4, Wayne Newton.
the top of the order and then on the middle of the order providing some life for the Hardhats, and now it's cut the deficit in half. And now, ball game.
And now Holden Jackson comes up. He's 1 for 2. How about this 2-out offense? Hardhats with 2 outs are now 3 for 3. 3 consecutive singles, and the first pitch to Jackson's too low and inside. 1-0.
And they're making Newman throw pitches and rattle him a little bit, get him out of his rhythm.
1-0 pitch. Missed outside. That was very close. 2-0. Holden Jackson ahead in the count now with 2 men in scoring position. Here's the 2-0 to Jackson. That missed low. 3 balls, no strikes.
Big pitch coming right here.
Holden Jackson batting .333 with runners in scoring position, so not a bad spot for him to be in with 2 men in scoring position and a 3-0 hitter's count. Here it is. Called strike on the outside corner, and the Hardhats fans All wishing they could be the umpire right there to call ball 4, but they're not going to get the opportunity. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, ball is hit. Foul. They're saying it's foul. That looked like it was going to be a bleeder right next to the mound. And instead, it's a full count. That pitch looked a little inside. Do you think that was ball 4 he swung at?
Yeah, I think it ran inside on the hands a little bit. Jammed him.
Coach Torvey now coming up to Jackson to give him some last words of advice. Big situation here. I would too. A full count, 2 outs. You have 2 men in scoring position. Base hit knocks them both in, changes the complexion of the ball game here.
Yeah, just calm him down a little bit.
Now we have an official mound visit coming from the Wayne Newton dugout. Coach and the entire infield comes in, and you know, no surprise here. Coach Torvey pulls Holden Jackson along. Now we have a big mound visit. Jackson hits a base hit. You know Caldwell's going to come in as well.
It's a big pitch for both sides.
Because, I mean, 3-2, the runners are going, especially in scoring position. They're going. And they're not going to stop for anything unless Coach really throws up a stop sign in their face.
Could change the game.
Absolutely could. It's 8-4 right now. Holden Jackson, a full count. Men on second and third. Base hit brings the Hardhats within 2. Ball 4 loads the bases for Zach Sumption, keeps the inning going. Payoff pitch to Jackson. Blowing away, ball 4. And Evan Newman can't believe he is stunned on the mound right now. And now it's bases loaded for Zach Sumption.
We talked about that different arm slot. Sometimes maybe it'll mess with the umpire a little bit too. But that pitch was close and a good take.
Here comes Zach Sumption with the bases loaded. First pitch swung on, hit to left field, a base hit. 1 run's going to come in and score. Chase Caldwell's getting waved in. He's going to come to him, and he scores. A 2-run, 2-out RBI single for Zach Sumption. The Hardhats are back in it. The crowd's going nuts. It's 8-6, Wayne Newton.
He took that first pitch. He liked it. And a big 2 RBI single.
Sorensen came in to score. Caldwell came in to score. Jackson hangs on at second. The Hardhats have batted through the lineup. Men on first and second. And now Todd Stevens comes up. He's already gone yard once, and he represents the go-ahead run at home plate.
Yeah, big at bat.
Stevens on the ball game is 1 for 2 with a 2-run bomb and a ground out to short. See what happens here. Newman from the stretch. First pitch, fouled off. Just a bit ahead of it, 0-1 to Stevens. The Hardhats, with 4 hits in their last 5 men and a walk, all with 2 outs. 4 runs have come in this inning. And now it's a completely different ball game at 8-6. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Called strike. Fastball right at the knees of Stevens. That had some pop to it. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count. From Newman to Stevens. Here's the 0-2. Low and inside. If Stevens keeps the inning going, the man that started it, Mason Messenger's on deck. If not, we go to the top of the 6th. And the Hardhats are within striking distance. 1-2 to Stevens. Swung on. Ball is pushed to short. It's a weak roll. Stops made on the play. Throw to first is in time by a hair. Todd Stevens can't believe it. Oh, so close. He thought he had the infield single, but he's out on the play, and that's going to end it. Hardhats got 4 runs on 5 hits. Well, a big change here to the top of the 6th inning. It looks like Zach Sumption is going to come in and pitch for Holden Jackson, and Alex Weaver is going to make his tournament debut and play defensively in left field. I was just talking about it with Thad Caldwell. our official scorer up here, and the rest of our personnel in. Oh, and we recall back in the bottom half of the pitch on the inside, may have even made some contact with his hand. At the start of this inning, Tia Furman and Coach Torvey, Tia being the athletic trainer for the Hardhats, came out with Holden to watch him take a pitch, and his first one sailed on him and he immediately went. Jackson ended up walking 3. He hit 1, and he struck out 2, all on 68 pitches. Tough break to see there, Adam. Holden really, with his pitching, he still had a couple of control issues, but with the way that he was hitting as well and the way that he started to pitch towards the end of his stint, really made a big difference.
Right, he got settled down there a little bit, and he was able to throw a couple of zeros up on the board, and it's tough to see.
Hey, you think back to it, looking at the scoreboard right now, Wayne Newton across the board reads 0-5-3-0-0. So he had an unfortunate first full inning in relief. But like you said, hung up 2 zeros right after that. Didn't give up a hit in those 2 innings. The only inning that he gave up runs, he gave up 3 hits. The other ones, he gave up no hits, and there was 1 error charged to his defense. That was solid, but now it's take over for him. And Sumption on the season when pitching for 2 in save opportunities, 9 2/3 innings work under his belt. Injury from what I understand. Undisclosed, of course, so we'll see just exactly how fresh he is, ready to rock here in left field. Sumption's first pitch misses low to Benji Downs, the 4-hole hitter, and first baseman for Wayne Newton. He is 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, a line out, and a fly out. And his 1-0 misses high and away. 2-0 now from Sumption to Downs. Mark Benetti and Adam Birch, broadcaster of the Spearfish Sasquatch, alongside you for tonight's showdown. 2-0 pitch is fouled off. And now it's 2-1. First strike thrown from Sumption on 3 pitches. 2 balls and a strike to count. Sumption a full windup, and here's the 2-1. Called strike, a fastball right at the knees, and it's 2-2. Downs, Brown, and Brown slated to hit in this inning. Full windup for Sumption. Here's the 2-2. Just missed. That low outside corner has been a question mark, and he just missed it. Big payoff pitch coming up to Downs, and here it is. Swung on and missed. Strike 4.
Yeah, that first strike that he pitched and got him locked in a little bit, and then a nice pitch that wrong the outside part of the plate and swung and missed.
So there is strikeout number 1 for Sumption on his first batter faced, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Connor Brown, who's 1 for 2 with a single, a fly out, a hit by pitch, and a pair of runs scored, and he looks at a first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. And that's a fastball that missed low. 1-1, but that breaking ball had so much movement to it. Started at the batter and barely clipped the inside.
Yeah, it's really tough as a batter to not give up on the ball when it's coming right at you, and then it comes back across the plate.
Late break, that is such a dangerous thing. Next pitch swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left center field. King tracks to his right underneath it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. A good start for Zach Sumption, coming in a tough spot with his Hardhats trailing 8-6. And that's going to bring up Ryan Brown, the left-handed hitting third baseman, who is 2 for 2 with a single, a double, a walk, and a pair of runs scored. He's been quite the machine tonight for Wayne Newton. Sumption looking to go 1-2-3, and his first pitch is fouled. Pitch was looking to go on the outside corner. 0-1. If it's a 1-2-3 inning, Mason Messenger, who started off the last inning, will start off the bottom half of the 6th. And there's a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. 0-2.
That was a perfectly placed pitch.
Now Assumption's looking for his second strikeout of the inning. 0-2 is ripped foul, and he'll have to throw another 0-2 pitch.
Takes a lot of skill as a pitcher to bring that breaking ball back from the outside corner.
No balls and 2 strikes from Assumption to Brown. Full windup. 0-2 pitch. Swung on. Ball's lined into right field, and that'll drop for a base hit. Caldwell fields it and gets it into his relay. It'll be a 2-out single there for Ryan Brown. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Jason Mundell. Mundell is 0 for 1. He grounded into a fielder's choice that he was safe at. Hit a sac fly RBI and then got an RBI walk. Also came around to score once. Man on first. 2 outs. First pitch was that breaking ball, but this time it didn't clip the inside. 1-0. Fans are letting Robert Bradford, the home plate umpire, know that he's doing a great job. I think some sarcasm thrown in there from the fans. Next pitch is swing and a miss. 1-1. You gotta love the fans sometimes. That's a fun relationship, the fan to umpire. Very fun.
In all sports.
In all sport, right. 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball sinking too low. 2 balls and a strike to count here to Mundell. Especially in hockey. You saw it in hockey this year with the rush. Football is very colorful crowd.
Tough to be an umpire.
That it is. Tough to be an official at any sport,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
2-1
2-1 pitch, misses inside again. 3-1 now to Mundell. Mundell looking for his first hit. Man on first takes his lead. Here comes the 3-1, and that's upstairs for ball 4. Assumption issues his first walk. Comes with 2 outs. It advances Brown to scoring position. That'll bring up Will Kelly, the left fielder. Kelly tried to bunt for a hit back in the top of the 5th, and Holden Jackson came up with probably the play of the game right now. He tried to go for the leadoff bunt single, and he was thrown out just by a fraction of a second. Assumption's first pitch. Breaking ball just missed inside again. 1-0 the count here to Kelly.
Hasn't got that call the last 2 times.
No, he hasn't. It's been very close. Here's the 1-0. And that one goes right off his bucket. And it keeps the inning going. Another hit by pitch. Coming with 2 outs, and it loads up the bases and brings up Caleb Gonser. Gonser also coming off of a hit by pitch. Actually coming off of 3 free passes. He's been walked twice, and he's been hit once. That's the 4th time a batter's been hit by a pitch in this game from a hard hat pitcher.
You look at the hits, the hard hats are out hitting them.
They are. 6 runs, 8 hits, an error for the hard hats, and on the other side for Wayne Newton, it's 8 runs, 7 hits, and no blemishes in the field. You see more runs than you do hits on a side of the scoreboard. You know that there are free base runners, whether it's by errors or by walks, hit batsmen. Something is causing free passage to the base path.
Just another control issue.
And Assumption started off this inning very promising. Looked like he was going to get out in about 12, 13 pitches. He's about to throw number 21 now. Gave up a 2-out single, then a 2-out walk, then a 2-out hit by pitch. It adds up. First pitch is a called strike. We actually have a pinch hitter in there. It's Colin Salyers. It comes in for Caleb Gonser. Colin Salyers, a left-handed batter. Here's his 0-1. That missed the outside corner, and the count evens up at 1-1. First appearance that Salyers has made in this ballgame. Might take over for Gonser at second. We'll have to see where the defensive lineman comes. 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Ball's ripped foul right in front of the Hardhats dugout. 1-2. Assumption coming off of a mound visit with Ryan Clapperich, the pitching coordinator, to go over this next at bat, especially with the mismatch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sumption looking to get out of the jam. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, and it's just fouled. Went with that outside breaking ball. Because it's the lefty, it's breaking in the right-handed batter's box and coming in. He went back with it. Fouled off. You know Wayne Newton's privy to that. They're going to try and fight it off, or they're going to get caught frozen.
Right.
1-2 pitch again. Misses low. Stevens gets the block. Everybody stays put. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Sumption trying to get out in his first inning of relief. The bases are loaded. There is nowhere to put Salyers. Every base is occupied. He has a 2-2 count. So Sumption still has a pitch to utilize before it gets really dangerous. Here comes the 2-2. Just missed inside at the knees. Sumption devastated on the mound. And now, here comes an all-important payoff pitch.
Not sure where that one missed.
Payoff comes, and it's fouled. And Sumption's going to have to do it again. I can only mention the mental battle going on here. Sumption throws a great 3-2 pitch. Now it gets fouled off. Now you've got to throw another payoff pitch. You can't seem to catch a break. Inside corner, outside corner. It's irrelevant at this point. Here's the payoff again. And that one missed low for ball 4. And it knocks in a run. And Wayne Newton now has a 9-6 lead. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And the fans are losing their minds. And now with the bases loaded again, the inning keeps going. And back to the top we go to Evan Newman, the starting pitcher. Newman 0 for 3 with a walk. First pitch, swung on, balls hit foul, third base side. 0-1 the count. He's also lined into a double play. That came back in the top of the 2nd. Top of the 2nd inning was a big inning for Wayne Newton, filled with a lot of control issues for Hardhats pitchers. 0-1 pitch, swung on, balls hit right back to Sumption on the mound, and that's going to end it. 1 run scored on just 1 hit in the inning. No errors charged to the Hardhats, and the bases were left loaded. We have played 5.5 innings of baseball, and Post 22 now trails by 3. It's 9-6. We'll take a step aside and come right back with Mason Messenger to lead off the bottom half of the 6th here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. We were correct on the defensive substitution we were talking about earlier. Caleb Gonser was pinch hit for Colin Salyers. Salyers now taking over at second. Evan Newman still back on the mound. He's got 75 pitches coming into this bottom half of the 6th with his Wayne Newton club up 9-6. Numbers across the board through 5.5. For Wayne Newton, it's 9 runs on 7 hits with no errors. And for the Hardhats, it's 6 runs on 8 hits with 1 blemish on defense. Mark Benetti and Spearfish Sasquatch broadcaster Adam Birch alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Wayne Newton, post 346 out of Terre, Haute, Indiana, taking on the post 22 Hardhats. Messenger tries to bunt for a hit. It's down. Throw to first is in time for out number 1. A good thought by Messenger. He didn't hit it up the line like he had wanted to. If that was a little more to the left, I think he could have gotten away with it.
Right, tried to catch the corner infielder, in this case the third baseman, off guard and just bunt for a hit, but wasn't able to push it that far.
So 1-3 in the book as it's fielded by Newman, and that's on 1 pitch again. Brings up Connor King, who's fresh off of a single and a run scored back from the 5th. First pitch is a called strike at the belt. 0-1 to King. King started a nice rally for the Hardhats in the 5th, and his 0-1 pitch is fouled. And quickly he's in an 0-2 hole. After that, Hegre was retired, and then the two-out offense came from Bowman, and he really started the two-out rally, which the Hardhats came right back with 4 runs. They trail 9-6 now. 0-2 to King, and that's upstairs. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes the count, and Newman deals to King. Swung on, ball's fouled. Good protection from King, and holds at 1-2.
Once again, just trying to make Newman pitch some pitches. A quick first out on 1 pitch. Just trying to make him throw some.
1-2 pitch. Misses low, and the count evens at 2-2 now for King. King's discipline at the plate is insane when you look at his numbers. King has struck out 17 times. He's walked 29. Next pitch, outside, and the count goes full at 3-2, and he's a pitch away from his 30th walk on the year. There's a reason he's in the leadoff spot.
Yep.
Here comes a big payoff pitch, and time is called just as soon as he started his windup. Over at short, Brigham Boo didn't like it either, and he threw his hands up. But now we go back to it. Here is the payoff to King. Swung on, ball's pushed high in the air to shallow left center field. Coming in from center to make the catch is Jason Mundell, and that'll be out number 2. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th, and now we come to Matt Hegre. Hegre on the ballgame, 0 for 2 with a backwards K, a pop out to second, and a walk. See if the 2-out magic comes back for the Hardhats, especially with Bowman, Sorensen, and Caldwell right up after him. First pitch from Newman. Breaking ball, called strike. 0-1 the count. Newman right back to it. Here's the 0-1 to Hegre. Pitch is swung on, ball's hit to short. Boo gets the stop between his legs. Throw to first is low, but it's in time. And that will end the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Hardhats go down 1-2-3 fashion on offense, which, as we all know, means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. We have played 6 innings of baseball, and Post 22 still trails Wayne Newton by a 9-6 score. Folks, we're going to take a step aside, and when we come back, it's the top of the 7th. 2, 3, and 4 slated to hit for Wayne Newton. We'll be right back on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Post 22 trailing Wayne Newton, post 346 out of Terre, Haute, Indiana, 9-6. Here as we go to the top of the 7th. Numbers across the board for Wayne Newton, it's 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And for the Hardhats, it's 6 runs on 8 hits with 1 error on defense. Mark Benetti and Adam Birch, the broadcaster of the Spearfish Sasquatch, alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Brigham Boo, Cameron Cook, Benji Downs slated to hit for Wayne Newton. And Boo fouls off his first pitch. It's 0-1. Boo on the ball game is 0 for 3. Pair of strikeouts, a reach on an error, and a hit by pitch. A lot of those hit by pitches in this ball game. 0-1 pitch is lined into left center field. King on the run makes the catch. And that is out number 1. Sumption, by the way, back on the mound to continue his relief stint. An inning so far, he's only given up a run on a hit. Nice easy start for him. 2 pitches get the first guy out. Cameron Cook now comes up, 1 for 4, a 2-run RBI double, ground out to short, fly out to center, and a strikeout. It's the second dealt by Holden Jackson. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball upstairs, 1-0. Post 22 has walked 8 men in this game and hit 4. As the next pitch is low, 2-0. That's been the storyline of the game, and Wayne Newton's cashed in on it. Runs have been knocked in because of free passes and then timely hitting with those free passes still on the base path. 2-0 pitch is a called strike. 2-1 now to Cook.
Yeah, it's definitely the story of the game, no doubt about it.
2-1 pitch. Swung on, and it's foul. First base side and out of play. 2-2 now to Cook. Sumption looking for his second strikeout in relief. Give him 2 outs on 2 batters faced here in this top half of the 7th. 2-2 pitch. Hits him. And that's an unfortunate sequence. That is the second hit batsman from Sumption, but Adam, I point this out all the time on Hard Hats broadcasts. A hit by pitch on a 2-strike count. That's a backbreaker.
It just can't happen, and it's very disappointing as a pitcher, and you know you messed up, and yeah.
So now here comes Benji Downs, and he almost got hit in the bucket. He ducked for cover. 1-0 the count to Downs. Downs is 0 for 3. Struck out the last time he was up, and that was to Zach Sumption. He's also walked and come around to score. Ball and no strikes with a man on first, and the next pitch is a called strike. Fastball at the knees of Downs. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike the count. Cook takes his lead off at first. 1-1 pitch. Runner goes, swung on and missed. Throw to second. Todd Stevens airmails it, and it's booted by Bowman into shallow right field. Bowman picks it up. He's heading to third, and the throw is not there in time. That's an unfortunate error from the Hardhats trying to get the man stealing. The throw was off track to begin with, and then when Bowman tried to come in and be the backup to Messenger, the ball was kicked out in the outfield. I think I'm going to charge an E2 there because the throw was off initially and caused the infield defense to boot it, and then obviously that resulted in 2 bases. So now it's a man on third, a ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. And are they switching batters? What are they saying happened? Are they saying it's a foul ball? Oh, they're calling obstruction. And so the batter's out, and the runner has to come back to first. That is a lucky break.
Yeah, I've never seen that be called, and big break for the Hardhats.
Well, I've seen it called a few times, but a few being the key word. I've been calling post 22 baseball now for 4 years, and I can think maybe 3 times I've seen an obstruction call or even an interference call on the catcher then, too. But this is an obstruction on the batter. And that is a humongous call there.
Well, and we talked about how the throw was so offline by the catcher, and yeah,
it makes sense. First pitch to Connor Brown was a ball. 1-0 the count, and there was a check to first that wasn't in time. Sumption will come from the stretch. Another check to first, still not there. An obstruction call. That could be big because instead of having a 1-2 count and a man on third, 1 out, you've got a fresh count. The man stays on first, and you get an out. Next pitch, a called strike on the inside corner. And the count evens at 1-1 now for Brown. Good to see Sumption finally hit the inside there. Been trying to pound him most of his relief appearance. Time called as soon as he begins his kick. So time is granted. How do you feel about that? Do you think that there should be a rule in place that if the kick begins, you shouldn't get the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's just got to be frustrating as a pitcher and sometimes as a hitter too. But
1-1 pitch, breaking ball in there on the inside for strike 2. 1-2 now to Connor Brown.
Sometimes, like just there, you get to reset and throw a strike.
Yeah, there you go. See, there is a flip side to it. 1-2 pitch. Hits him. Another hit by pitch with a 2-strike count. Second one in this inning. Cook will advance to second. Brown to first, and Adam, you got to hope that that doesn't come back to bite this team. You were a strike away from getting out of the inning without allowing a run, and now it continues.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to go back to the breaking ball there, and that one just didn't come back across the plate.
Parker Bray is going to come in to courtesy run for Connor Brown. That is a rule in this tournament. Catchers can get a courtesy runner. So Parker Bray comes out. First pitch, swung on, ball's hit right up the middle. That's a base hit into shallow center field. They are sending the run. Here comes King. He's going to eat the ball. And there is a 2-out RBI single for Ryan Brown. And now it's a 10-6 lead, and there it is, right there.
Yeah, just like we talked about, that's a big hit by pitch, and it cost him a run in the end.
So now Jason Mundell comes in, following the RBI single to Ryan Brown with 2 outs and men on first and second. The inning keeps going. First pitch. Swung on, ball's pushed into right field. That drops for a base hit. Caldwell comes into field, and he guns it home. There is a play at the plate. Stevens has the guy dead to rights and a run down. Here at third, Hegre comes in. It's another run down, and there's finally the tag from Zach Sumption. That was a 9-2, 5-1 play going home, and that will end the top half of the seventh. It was a run on a hit with no errors charged to the Hardhats and 2 men left on the base path. We have played 6.5 innings of baseball. Everybody get up and stretch. We'll be right back with the bottom of the seventh. The Hardhats trailing 10-6. I'm in the middle of my 7th inning stretch right now as Post 22 is looking to get back on the offensive and try and come back against Wayne Newton, who currently holds on to a 10-6 lead. This is day 3 of pool play in the Firecracker tournament. Post 22 and Wayne Newton, the last 2 teams in the bracket that are undefeated in pool play. Rocky Mountain follows behind at 2-1. Merced and Premier West at 1-2, and the Missoula Mavericks still winless at 0-3. Cooper Bowman leads off the bottom half of the 7th and looks at a first pitch low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Bowman, who is 2 for 2, pair of singles, an RBI, a run scored, and a hit by pitch. Mark Benetti and Adam Birch alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. The 1-0 is low, and the count even now goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Bowman, Sorensen, Caldwell, 3 deadly hitters for the Hardhats slated to hit. 2-0 pitch. Called strike. Inside part at the knees. Hardhats fans giving Robert Bradford quite a time behind home plate. 2-1 now to Bowman. Leading off the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 pitch, ball swung on, hit high in the air to right center field, on the run, and over the head is Jason Mundell. Bowman's got his afterburners on, he rounds first and heads to second, and he will slam on the brakes. Cooper Bowman gets a leadoff double to try and start things up for the Hardhats. And that's going to bring up Jack Sorensen with a chance to knock in Bowman from second.
Big leadoff double there. Just need more Cooper Bowmans.
I'm not gonna disagree with your logic. If every team had 9 Cooper Bowmans, they'd be winning a World Series every year. Let's be honest with ourselves. Such a special player and an even more special human being. If you have a chance to talk or interact with Cooper Bowman, he is by far one of the brightest spots of working with this team over the last 4 years. Sorensen swings at his first pitch, but it fouls off the end of the bat and it goes down the third baseline. 0-1 the count to Sorensen. Sorensen 1 for 3, singled and scored the last time he was up in the bottom of the 5th. Evan Newman now, by the way, at 90 pitches. I would not be surprised if this was his last inning working, whether he gets pulled in this inning, should the Hardhats mount the comeback, or going into the next inning. Here's the 0-1. Sorensen swung on, hit out to second, and it goes right through the legs of the second baseman and Salyers. Bowman's going to come around to score. Sorensen safe on first, and the Hardhats are chipping away, trailing Wayne Newton 10-7 on the E4 here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's a big error. Big error. First error of the game for post 364, 354.
346.
Oh.
I was trying to motion to you. Here comes Jace Caldwell now. No outs and a man on first. And his first pitch was a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to Caldwell. Newman from the stretch. 0-1 pitch. And that's outside. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Check to first, and Sorensen's back safe. As the count remains 1-0 to Jace Caldwell. 1-1 pitch. That misses low. Sorensen takes off, and the throw to second is not in time. The ball was blocked by Connor Brown behind the plate. Good heads-up base running by Jack Sorensen, who steals second. 2 balls and a strike to Caldwell, man in scoring position.
Looked like the catcher just kind of double clutched it and threw it high and slid in there for stolen base.
And now we're going to have a mound visit here for Evan Newman. I don't think they're going to necessarily pull him now. I don't see any action in the Wayne Newton bullpen over there. Hard to see, of course. We've got the Ivy to worry about, but nonetheless, I don't see any action over there. So just a mound visit for right now. A maintenance visit, I guess you would say. Jace Caldwell in the middle of a 2-1 count. He's 1 for 3. RBI single the last time he was up with 2 outs. He's also struck out and grounded to short. I found it funny because the last time Jace was up, we pointed out at that time he was 0 for 2, and both times he was registered out, he ended an inning. Hardhats could not use for him to end an inning, and he came up with a clutch 2-out RBI single and kept it going. That eventually led to a Holden Jackson walk, and then Zach Sumption, 2-run ribby single into left, the first pitch he saw, and that brought the Hardhats right back in it. 10-7 now is their deficit. Back to baseball. 2-1 pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to shallow left center. Underneath it is Mundell. He makes the catch. Sorensen tags up. He's going to head for third, and the throw's not going to come in. Good heads-up base running for Jack Sorensen. And the most important thing about that, too, Adams, that's just the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Alex Weaver to come in for Holden Jackson's spot. But no, 1 out, and you've got the guy on third. You have 1 opportunity with the sac fly and 2 chances with 2 batters to try and get him across.
Yeah, that 90 feet is huge.
First pitch to Weaver, making his firecracker debut, and he hits it down the line, but just foul first base side. 0-1. How crazy would that have been? The first pitch he sees in the tournament and his first action in the week, and it would have been an RBI opposite field hit.
Yeah, it would have been big, but just couldn't squeak it fair.
Weaver comes into this matchup batting .306. This is his firecracker debut this season. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball is fouled. Weaver's behind 0-2. Weaver, 26 singles, 6 doubles, and a triple on the year. Has yet to leave the yard, and he has 23 runs knocked in. Weaver with runners in scoring position, batting .286. 0-2. Just missed outside. That was close.
Once again, that outside corner coming into play.
Whew. It's been suspect tonight on both sides now, as we've seen. Newman steps off the rubber. He'll take some time to think, and Weaver will step out as well. Ball and 2 strikes to Weaver, making his first appearance in the firecracker with a man on third. 1-2, fouled, and it just misses. our press window. I was ready for it. I was ready. Almost had it. That would have been one for the ages. Ball and 2 strikes to count. And the pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit high in the air to shallow center. Coming in from short to make the catch on the play is Brigham Boo. And that'll be out number 2. My former broadcast partner, Teddy Leipold, once caught a foul ball in the press box during the firecracker. So how crazy would that have been 2 years later, almost to the day, I would think, because it was the Saturday night or Sunday. I think it was the Saturday night game or the Friday night game that he did it. How crazy would that have been? Here comes Zach Sumption, and his first pitch is a called strike inside. 0-1, and that is pitch number 101 for Evan Newman on the mound. 0-1 to Sumption is upstairs. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Sumption with Jack Sorensen 90 feet to his left. He's 1 for 3, fresh off of a 2-run RBI double. Or RBI single, I mean. The 1-1 misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Post 22 trailing 10-7 here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 pitch. Swung out and missed. High fastball, it's 2-2. Top of the 8th inning will bring 8, 9, and 1 up for Wayne Newton if we get there. 2-2. Just missed low outside. Newman can't believe it. And now the count goes full. I'm just as speechless as you, Adam. This is, wow.
There is nothing given on that outside corner.
Nothing. And now it's for both pitchers. I thought it was just exclusive to the Hardhats, but now it's both sides. Here comes the payoff to Sumption, and that's upstairs, ball 4. And that suspect outside corner has had some hand in keeping this inning going. And rocketing up the pitch count of Evan Newman. Are they going to keep him? Or are they going to make the mound visit? I think they are going. Oh, no, they're going to have a conversation with the umpire here. And he's kind of frustrated, and you know, I would be too, because it's kept the inning going. This is a nail-biter of a baseball game at 10-7. It looked like Wayne Newton was going to run away with it in the 3rd inning, but then the Hardhats had that big bottom of the 5th, put up a 4 spot, came within 2. And now we've got both umpires in, talking to the coaching staff of Wayne Newton post 346. The coaching staff, of course, Tim Hayes, the head coach. He and Coach Torvey are now going to have a conversation here with our umpire. In the meantime, there's a conference on the infield. I'd be interested to see what this is about. To be a fly on the wall sometimes. What do you think they're talking about down there?
I don't know. I think both sides are just frustrated with the outside corner not being called, but.
And they are going to signal a new pitcher after all of that. And it looks like they're going to bring in number 8, Blade Pittman. So Blade Pittman will now come in and take over for Evan Newman. What a start he had, 106 pitches for Evan Newman. That was incredible.
You can't ask anything more from your starting pitcher.
So Blade Pittman will come in, who takes over for Evan Newman. We'll let Pittman warm up, and we'll give you all the numbers that you need, folks. We'll step aside and come right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Blade Pittman, the righty, now comes in to relieve for Evan Newman. And it looks like Colin Salyers has come out of the ball game. Thad Caldwell, our official scorer, pointing that out to me moments ago. So we believe Newman will stay in the ball game, which would also keep him in the leadoff spot in the lineup. Probably imagine he would shift over to one of the middle infield positions because that's where Salyers was at. He was at second base. So we'll see what happens there. Yes, Newman's going to move over to second, which then means that Blade Pittman will come into the 9-hole spot for Salyers. And he would bat second in the next inning. So Pittman's going to come up and face Todd Stevens. Stevens has gone yard once. He represents the tying run. He has men on the corners with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 7th. Hardhats trailing 10-7. If he went out of the park again, this place would explode.
Oh, yeah. The press box would explode.
Let's see what Todd Stevens has. 1 for 3 with the 2-run jack. First pitch from Pittman. Breaking ball, called strike. 0-1. No balls in to strike the count. Pittman looks to first and to third. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's lined into left field, but just foul. Just out of the reach of Ryan Brown at third. 0-2 to Stevens, and he missed it by about 2 feet.
Yeah, it wasn't fouled by very much, but he just missed one.
Just missed it. No balls, 2 strikes the count here to Stevens. Men on the corners. Just a little early on that pitch. And here's the 0-2. Runners go, and the pitch is fouled. Count will hold at 0-2. Kids are going nuts for the foul ball. Money on the line, I guess. No balls, 2 strikes. Men on the corners for Stevens. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. 0-2. Pitch is swung on. Ball is pushed into the glove at second of Newman, and the throw is in time. What a play by Newman. I don't believe it. Newman coming in at second after pitching. Gets the out. We are all dumbfounded up here.
What a crazy play to end an inning.
And it strands a run 90 feet from home, and another one on the base path. It looked like it was going to go into the hole, but it did not. So, no runs, excuse me, 1 run on a hit with 1 error charged to Wayne Newton and 2 men left on the base path, 190 feet from scoring. We've played 7 innings of baseball. Wayne Newton still has the lead, 10-7, going into the top of the 8th. We'll be right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, by Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. No defensive changes for the Hardhats. Zach Sumption still on the mound. He will take on 8, 9, and 1. Will Kelly will lead off, followed by Blade Pittman, the relief pitcher. And then Evan Newman, the pitcher turned second baseman at the top of the order. Sumption has struck out 1. He's hit 2, hit 3. And he has walked 1. First pitch misses the zone, 1-0 to Will Kelly. And here comes the 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 to Kelly. On the ball game is 2 for 3. 2 RBI hits, a single, a double, a run scored, and a hit by pitch. 2-0 misses low and away. 3-0 from Sumption. And here's the 3-0. Called strike. Fastball at the belt. 3-1. Well, not the most favorable of counts in the world. For Sumption, that is. Just threw his 50th pitch. And number 51 misses low and away for ball 4. Leadoff walk. Been the story of the ball game for post 22. That's going to bring up Blade Pittman, the pitcher. Pittman comes in for Gonser and Salyers in the 9 spot. Gonser went with 0 at-bats, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, an RBI walk, and a run scored as Pittman looks at ball 1 low. Salyers got hit by a pitch. I'm sorry, Salyers walked. So the 9 hole doesn't have a registered at-bat yet between 2 gentlemen. Here's a 1-0. Strike at the knees. 1-1. That's an unreal stat. 4 plate appearances between 2 gentlemen and not a single at-bat.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. Ball and a strike that counts. Sumption checks to first. It's not there. 1-1 from Sumption to Pittman. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt. He drops it. Coming in from third, Hegre. And Hegre's throw is in time. Late adjustment, a sacrifice bunt. 5-3 in the book. That will move Kelly to scoring position. Back to the top we go to the second baseman, Evan Newman, who ended the bottom of the 7th on just a dynamite play.
That's for sure.
It was an unbelievable spot. So here comes Sumption from the stretch. Checks to second. First pitch is a breaking ball inside. 1-0. I keep forgetting that Sumption has a great inside breaking pitch because I could have sworn that was going to hit Newman when I saw him release it. But it had enough bend to just come right into the dirt. That would have been the 7th hit batsman for Hardhats pitching, by the way. Next pitch is swung on, hit up the middle. Bowman on the run, gets the scoop, and then he bobbles it. And then he throws to third, and Hegre can't hang on to it. A rare E6. That puts Newman on the base path. 1 out, it's men on the corners. And that will bring us to Brigham Boo, who is 0 for 4 with a hit by pitch, a reach on an error, a line out to center, and 2 strikeouts. And now we have a meeting on the mound with Coach Clapperich and the entire infield. What's the defense? What are you thinking here on defense? You have corners in, middle infield at double play depth. Is that kind of the look you're going to go for here?
Yeah, probably the double play, and if they attempt to run, maybe the halfway throw and try and catch them at the plate.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's happened. That's happened a lot against the Hardhats these last couple of seasons that I've been calling for them. You don't almost ever see that at the major league level and very rarely at the college level. But at this level, you'll see men on the corners, a double steal, and the runner on first will try and goad you into that throw just so that the guy on third has the easy stroll. Here comes Brigham Boo. First pitch. Outside, 1-0. Men on the corners for Boo, still 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Hardhats trail 10-7. Trying to limit the damage. 1-0. That's a called strike. And the count evens at 1-1. I thought that was going to be at the letters. A little high and inside there, no? 1-1 the count. And Sumption deals. Breaking ball hits him. And that's the fourth hit by pitch for Sumption. And Coach Torvey's going to come right on out. I think he's going to argue that it hit the butt end of the bat, and I did hear a sound. What do you think?
I think he's maybe arguing that he leaned into it.
Oh, that he leaned into it, too. That is...
Because it did appear that he kind of leaned into it and wanted it to hit him.
Well, if it wasn't a lean-in, that'll be the fourth time Sumption's hit a batter, and it'll be the seventh time overall for the Hardhats pitching staff. If they do say he leaned in, he's going to come back. It'll be men on the corners. And it looks like the call is going to stand that he did not lean in. Coach Torvey not happy, and I don't blame him. Now it's bases loaded, 1 out. You've got to hope you get a double play ball, roll it, and get out of this.
Yeah, another hit by batter, and it's just...
Cameron Cook comes up, every base occupied. He's been hit by a pitch once. He's 1 for 4 with a 2-run RBI double and a strikeout as well. And now the head coach of Wayne Newton is coming out to have a word. It looks like he's speaking with our umpiring crew. Tim Hayes, the head coach of Wayne Newton. What do you think he's bringing up here?
I'm not sure at all. It looked like the first base coach that came from his position, and
Coach Torvey's back out there to talk with Robert Bradford, our home plate umpire. This game is starting to lose. Coach Torvey now being called back by Bradford. This game's starting to drag on here, and now Coach Hayes is coming over as well from his third base coach's box. I think Bradford's calling for kind of an order in the court kind of deal here, bringing both coaches over, but he's caught a lot of heat tonight from, I'm sure, fans watching back home. The fans here, obviously, we've heard it all night. Both coaches have given him an earful at times. You and I, we've got our opinions, but we're radio guys. We normally keep those to ourselves unless it becomes a real big story. Well, here we go. Bases loaded. Cameron Cook comes up. Now it is finally back to baseball. The meetings, the discussions, the disagreements, it's all gone. First pitch. Misses low on a fastball, and it's 1-0. Sumption just threw his 60th pitch to Cook, who's 1 for 4. Already has a multi-RBI base hit. Multi-RBI extra base hit for that. 1-0 pitch, a called strike on the inside. And it's 1-1.
calling the inside corner now instead of the outside part of the plate.
1-1 pitch, missed low and away. 2-1. There's nowhere to put Cook, so if he walks, a run comes in. This is something else, Adam. It's just unbelievable. 2-1 pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit to short. Bowman gets the scoop to second for one, and it's off track, and it goes into right field. Oh, my goodness. And 2 runs will come in. Or excuse me, 1 run will come in. The throw to second was off track. No, 2 runs are coming in. I was right first. 2 runs come in, and it's 12-7. The second E7, or E6, I mean, of the inning. That is rare. And now it's men on the corner, still 1 out for Benji Downs. That looked like it was going to be a routine double play. Bowman's throw is off. 12-7, Wayne Newton now. Here comes Benji Downs. And his first pitch is hit high in the air. Hardhats can't mess this one up. Sorensen gets the catch. 2 down. I think they call the infield fly rule anyway, so 2 down. And that is going to bring us to Connor Brown. Just when you think you're out of it, something else happens.
Yeah, it looked like Bowman just rushed it a little bit, and the second baseman wasn't expecting a high throw and just went right past him into right field.
So here comes Connor Brown. He is 1 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch twice, and he swings and misses at his first pitch. Pretty late swing there, and he's 0-1. 12-7 now is the Wayne Newton lead. Here in the top of the 8th with men on the corners and 2 outs. And the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's lined into right field. Caldwell's underneath it, makes the catch. And that will end the top half of the 8th. 2-run score on the power of 0 hits. A pair of errors charged to the Hardhats. Men left on the corners. We've played 7.5 innings of baseball, and Post 22 now trails by 5 once again. It stands at 12-7. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the bottom of the 8th. 9, 1, and 2 slated to hit, starting off with Mason Messenger here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 back to the offense here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Trailing once again by 5. 12-7 the score with Mason Messenger, Connor King, and Matt Hegre slated to bat. Mark Benetti and Adam Birch alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and as always on Hardhats-TV. This is a weird baseball game, Adam. A lot of free base runners, a lot of hit batsmen, a couple of uncharacteristic errors, a strike zone that's maybe it's there, maybe it's not, maybe it's in a different dimension. How do you put this into words?
It's just been all over the place. And we see it a couple of times in hockey where the umpires kind of lose the crowd a little bit, and it seems like it's running that way tonight.
Blade Pittman back on the mound in relief for Wayne Newton to take on 9-1 and 2. Starting off with Mason Messenger, still looking for his first hit of the ball game. Mason Messenger, Connor King, and Matt Hegre, slated to hit. Hardhats trail 12-7. It's 12 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Wayne Newton. 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Hardhats. Messenger 0 for 3. First pitch. Breaking ball called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. And the fans are just losing their minds. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball high and inside. Fans giving Robert Bradford, our home plate umpire, a little grief there. Said it should have been a strike call, and it was not. 1-1, ripped into left field, drop for a base hit. Mason Messenger leads off with a single. It's his first hit of the ball game, and back to the top we go to Connor King.
You always say don't let the officials decide the game. He didn't let them that time.
Absolutely not. Got a chance to crack one, and crack one he did. Messenger popped out twice and then tried to bunt for a hit. This time he swings away, gets a nice even swing, line drive, and now Connor King comes up. 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. Messenger leads off a first. And the first pitch hit him. And Connor King's going to take his base. And now Messenger moves to scoring position, and here comes Matt Hegre. 2 men on, no one out. King's all right. He was limping a little bit to first. He's trying to walk it off and battle it out. And now we have a meeting on the mound to discuss the situation at hand. I was thinking something, and I'm glad I didn't say it before I finished my thought, because then I had another thought to come after that. It sounds very confusing, so let's try this again. I had a thought that maybe you go to small ball to advance 2 runners, but you're running out of outs, you're down 5, can't really afford to give up an out for runs at this point.
Right, and at this point you're just trying to get bat on ball and hope it lands somewhere in the outfield.
Matt Hegre made his debut to this tournament today. He did not play in Game 1 or Game 2. Hegre on this season with runners in scoring position bats .325. And he came into this game batting a dead even .300. Hegre's 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. And still no pitches thrown as Pittman steps off the rubber and Hegre now steps back in the box. First pitch. Breaking ball up high. 1-0. And you can see the catcher, Brown, told Pittman more downward motion. Try and get that to break in.
And you can hear the hard hat dugout piping to life a little bit.
Next pitch is a called strike on a breaking ball that was down and in the zone. 1-1 now, the count to Hegre. And to Adam's point, the dugout's alive, trying to get their hard hats sparked. Next pitch turned on into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding third, heading home is Mason Messenger. Stopping at second is King. An RBI single from Matt Hegre, and the Hard Hats have some life. They've got a run down by 4. It's 12-8.
A very nice hit there and an RBI single. Puts the deficit back down to 4.
And now with men on first and second, here comes Cooper Bowman of all people. And Blade Pittman is getting the hook. Second mound visit of the inning. That will be it for him. Pittman only lasted a third of an inning. And he allowed a run on 2 hits. He hit a batter. He did not strike anyone out. And walked 1. And now Parker Bray, who came in to courtesy run for Connor Brown, the catcher, is now going to come in to pitch. And once again, he will take over the 9 spot.
And now a lefty on righty matchup.
Right. Interesting call there, because normally isn't that advantage to the batter?
You would think so.
Very interesting call. Parker Bray, the lefty, now on the mound. Parker Bray will throw to Cooper Bowman. After Pittman went a third of an inning, allowed a run on a pair of hits, walked 1 on just 11 pitches. He did not go far. Bowman up with Hegre on first with the RBI single. King on second with the hit by pitch. Messenger came around to score. Led off with a single. Cooper Bowman on the ball game is 3 for 3. Pair of singles, a run knocked in, a double, a pair of runs scored, and he's been hit by a pitch. Safe to say that on the season coming into this game, he's the most dangerous batter on the Hard Hats roster, and it's also safe to say that in this game in particular because he hasn't skipped a beat in the batter's box.
Right, and it was basically a easy call to bring in a new arm here and try and get him off his stride just a little bit, but most dangerous hitter in the lineup coming to the plate.
Bowman leads the team with 5 home runs. If he left the yard now, the Hard Hats would be down 1. Still no outs in the inning. Men on first and second for Bowman. Let's see what he cooks up. Parker Bray, the lefty, steps off the rubber before he throws his first pitch. He's got to really think about this one, and now Connor Brown's going to come out and help him think on the mound. Got to take your time there. I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's a tough task coming in, especially to face the biggest hitter on the squad. And
Robert Bradford, a home plate umpire, set to break up the conversation. Matt Hegre on first with the RBI single. Connor King on second with the hit by pitch. Cooper Bowman comes up with a chance to bring the Hardhats closer. 3 for 3. Pair of singles, a run batted in, a double, 2 runs scored. He drops the bunt down on the mound. Bray looks to first, and the throw is not in time! It's a bunt single for Cooper Bowman. I don't believe it. And it's the bases loaded with nobody out for Jack Sorensen.
boy, what a heads-up play. And he hustled right out of the box, and there was no catching him.
You and I were talking about if he left the yard, if he got a big hit, if he did this. And now he bunts to load the bases. The infield is on the fringe, and Jack Sorensen, who has reached base consecutively in 2 at-bats, is up. 1 for 4, a single, a run scored, reach on an error. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike, and the lefty, Parker Bray, starts ahead 0-1. Sorensen's the tying run. The Hardhats down 4 with the bases loaded. 0-1 is outside. Fastball, it's 1-1. Well, this just got very interesting. The defense has now backed up to normal infield depth. 1-1. Breaking ball, called strike. And it's 1-2 against Sorensen. Ball and 2 strikes the count, and Bray deals to Sorensen outside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. I have to wait to call after the outside pitches. You just never know. Here is the 2-2. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove. Strike 3. And that's the first out. Sorensen angry at himself. 1 down, base is still loaded. Jace Caldwell has left the yard. His only home run of the season is a grand slam. First pitch. Breaking ball upstairs, 1-0. Jace Caldwell with runners in scoring position bats .419. He's batting just above that on the season. Here's his 1-0 pitch. Too far inside, the ball skips away. Everybody's going an extra base, and King is safe at home. And the Hardhats are down 3. It's 12-9 with 2 men in scoring position for Caldwell and a 2-0 count.
Yeah, a big pass ball, wild pitch there, and now the lead is cut to 3.
And now the lead is cut to 3. King scores, Hegre to third, Bowman to second. 2 balls, no strikes the count. Parker Bray takes his time on the mound. Full windup, here's the 2-0. Breaking ball outside, 3-0 to Caldwell. Alex Weaver in the on-deck circle. He popped out to short the last time he was up. And here's the 3-0. Called strike. Fastball in the outside corner, it's 3-1. Here comes the 3-1 to Caldwell. Called strike, a breaking ball inside, and now the count is full. Parker Bray, the third pitcher used, the lefty in relief. Payoff pitch to Caldwell. Hit him. That's ball 4. No, it didn't hit him. They're saying it didn't hit him. And 2 runs are going to come in to score on the sequence. These guys can't believe it. They're calling in the infield umpire, Yogi Milslegel, and if this call stands, the Hardhats are down 1. I thought the pitch hit him. And they're saying it didn't. And the Hardhats are down 1. Can you believe it?
That's a big call, and I didn't think it hit him either, but nonetheless, the call stands and down by 1.
And 2 runs come in on the sequence. The catcher, Connor Brown, was nonchalant getting to the ball, took his time. That's how 2 were able to score. I could have sworn that made some kind of contact just from where we were watching it. Now, you're a little over than I am, so you're not sitting directly behind the right-handed batter. You've got a better view on that.
Right, and just the way it ricocheted, it looked like it just ricocheted off his glove more than the batter to me.
And now 2 runs have scored. The Hardhats are within 1. Here comes Alex Weaver. First pitch, missed outside. 1-0. Weaver's 0 for 1. Ball and no strikes this count, and the pitch. Called strike on a fastball. And the count evens at 1-1. This is a wild game. This is just wild. We've seen just about everything.
That's for sure.
Ball and a strike the count here to Weaver. Parker Bray back on the mound, steps on the rubber. Caldwell leads off of first. Bray looks, 1-1 pitch. Called strike. Weaver followed that one right to his knees, and it's 1-2. Fans not happy about that one. That looked pretty good.
Yeah, that one definitely caught the outside part of the plate. And
ball and 2 strikes the count here to Weaver. Bray looking for his second strikeout. And the 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well zipped fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. And the 2-2. Misses low. And the count goes full. Full count here to Alex Weaver. And here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and just fouled. Might have swung at ball 4. That one looked high.
Gotta stay alive and protect.
But exactly right, though. There are other times where Hardhats haven't protected and it's been a blatant strike. I'd rather him swing and protect at that than not do anything. Payoff number 2 is low and away, ball 4. That was a little too close for me. I would have protected again.
Yeah, and on that pitch, it's so hard to protect that you just hope that it's a ball.
Right. And now Zach Sumption, the pitcher, comes up with men on first and second and 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. The Hardhats have plated 4. They are down 1. It's 12-11. First pitch. Called strike. Breaking ball inside. It's 0-1. The tying run is on second. The go-ahead run is now on first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one missed low. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count here to Sumption. Hardhats are down 1. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Big cut there from Sumption, and it's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes the count. And the pitch is low and inside. Brown gets the block. 2-2 now to Sumption. Sumption on the ball game is 1 for 3, a 2-run RBI single, a strikeout and a walk. 2 balls, 2 strikes this count. Men on first and second. Bray takes his time from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A big second strikeout for Bray. 2 down with the tying run in scoring position, and that brings up Todd Stevens. Stevens left the yard in the bottom of the second, has grounded out 3 times since, including a fantastic stop by Newman over at second. First pitch, a check swing called strike. 0-1. Everybody on the edge of their seat. If you're not on the edge of your seat listening or watching this game, then you have no pulse. There's the 0-1. High and away to Stevens. Count evens up and a ball and a strike. Stevens has Weaver on first and Caldwell on second. Caldwell the tying run. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. 1-1 pitch, a check swing and a miss. 1-2. Got to commit to the swing, especially in a moment like this.
Yes, and it's so tough, especially on the breaking balls, to try and get bat on ball.
1-2 is upstairs. 2-2. It's a high fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Todd Stevens. Home plate umpire Robert Bradford cleans off home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Todd Stevens. Caldwell the tying run on second. Weaver the go-ahead run behind him on first. Bray from the stretch, lefties, 2-2 pitch. Caught him looking, strike 3. And that's a big third strikeout for Bray, and that ends the bottom half of the 8th. The Hardhats get 4 runs on the power of 3 hits. No errors were charged to Wayne Newton, and there were 2 men left on the base path. We have played 8 innings of baseball. Post 22 trails 12-11. We'll take a step aside and come right back with the top half of our final inning of regulation here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 is now in the final inning of regulation. And Cooper Bowman comes in to pitch for Zach Sumption. Zach Sumption, I believe, is out of the ball game now. And Cooper Bowman will take over on the mound. Bowman doesn't pitch often, but he's really good in those 1-inning bursts where you just need 1 inning and that's it. Bowman has played in 7, now 8 games after tonight, 6 1/3 innings of work, so it's basically an inning per game. 7 strikeouts to 3 walks and 3 hit batsmen. He's allowed 1 run on the year. It was unearned on a pair of hits, so his ERA is 0. How about that?
That's pretty good.
Very well spoken. Dynamite drop in, Monty. That broadcast school's really paying off. Zach Sumption went 3 innings. He allowed 4 runs, only 1 of which was not earned. On 3 hits. Sumption struck out only 1. He hit 4 batters, though. And now here comes Bowman into pitch. 66 pitches for Sumption as well. Bowman will take on Ryan Brown, the lefty, Jason Mundell, and Will Kelly. And has yet to throw a pitch to Todd Stevens. Bowman has an overpowering fastball, and he's got a good 2-seamer as well. And now he and Stevens are going over the strategy for Ryan Brown, or maybe they're just making him wait a little bit. That could be the case, too.
The mind games in baseball.
Yogi Berra once famously said that 90% of baseball is physical and the other half is mental. His words ring ever so true. My favorite Yogi Berra quote is, "I would give up my right arm to be ambidextrous." First pitch from Bowman. It's a heater of a fastball called strike. 0-1 to the lefty Brown. Brown is 4 for 4. 3 singles, an RBI, a double, a walk, 3 runs scored, and he fouls off his next pitch. He's behind 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes from Bowman to Brown here in the top of the 9th with the Hardhats down 1, trying to keep it that way. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's ripped foul into the mesh. And it holds 0-2. Mundell on deck is 1 for 2, excuse me. 2 RBIs, 2 walks. Next pitch misses low. 1-2 now from Bowman to Brown. Will Kelly in the hole is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a double, a hit by pitch, a walk, and 2 runs scored. A lot of clutch hitters coming up here for Wayne Newton. They hold on to a 12-11 lead over post 22. Here comes the 0-2 from Bowman, and that misses low. Excuse me, the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count. Scoreboard was off. 2-2. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Caught him looking. Strike 3 with a fastball inside. Strikeout number 1 for Bowman. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense brings us to Jason Mundell, the center fielder.
Yeah, that overpowering fastball just froze the lefty there.
Especially on the inside part. Inside-outside corners have been, as we say in the business, borderline suspect. That's going to bring us to Jason Mundell, the center fielder. And his first pitch misses low, fastball, it's 1-0. Mundell had an RBI walk in the 2nd, sac fly RBI in the 3rd, fielder's choice in the 4th, walk in the 6th, single in the 7th. 1 for 2. Next pitch misses outside, 2-0. Cooper Bowman on in relief. Messenger over at short now. And Ryan Bachman in at 2nd. Next pitch is fouled, out of play. And the count goes to 2-1. Two balls and a strike to count now to Mundell. Bowman full windup. Here's his 2-1 pitch. Called strike at the knees of Mundell. And it's 2-2.
Knees, socks.
Hey, you said it, I didn't. 2-2 pitch. Check swing, did he go? No, he didn't. And the count goes full. 3-2. Very well played, sir. Payoff pitch for Bowman here to Mundell, and he deals the 3-2, and it's just fouled off. And the count will hold full. One out, empty base path here for Mundell. Top of the 9th, his Wayne Newton side up 12-11. Payoff pitch. Caught him looking, strike 3. And the crowd is going nuts. 2 up, 2 down, 2 backwards Ks. Here comes Will Kelly.
Another one just freezes the hitter. This time on the outside corner.
Will Kelly's had a good night. 2 for 3. 2 runs scored, a hit by pitch, a walk, and a double. First pitch, called strike. Fastball at the knees, it's 0-1. Cooper Bowman on the mound, trying to give a shutdown 9th inning to close out. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, called strike 2. Where did that pitch come from? It's been straight fastballs the whole time.
That was a little weird.
That was unbelievable. No balls, 2 strikes to Kelly. And here comes the 0-2. And he missed low and away. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cooper Bowman looking for 3 punch-outs and a 1-2-3 inning. And here is the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Cooper Bowman has struck out the side. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. The Hardhats have the last say in this one. The bottom of the 9th. 3 outs, down 1. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay where you are, folks. We will be right back with the bottom of the 9th Last chance for the Hardhats here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 has a chance to pull off what we didn't think was possible in the early stages of this game, and that is the comeback. They trail 12-11 to Wayne Newton, post 346 out of Terre, Haute, Indiana. And 9, 1, and 2 are slated to hit. Mason Messenger, Connor King at the top of the order, and Matt Hegre. Stay where you are, folks. This one could be something special. Mark Benetti and Spearfish Sasquatch broadcaster Adam Birch alongside you here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Adam, was a very slow start here for the Hardhats. A ton of free passes on the mound, walks, hit by pitches, totaling almost double digits combined. And somehow the Hardhats have fought back to this point where they are down 1 with their final 3 outs.
Yeah, and we talked about how the dugout seemed a little gloomy, but once they got back in the game, it's really heated up.
Mason Messenger just got his first hit the last time he was up. He's 1 for 4 with a run scored. And he looks at a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Messenger just trying to get on base. Hardhats need the tying run on. Here is his 1-0 pitch. And that missed low, 2-0. Parker Bray, the lefty, still on the mound for Wayne Newton. He finished up the 8th and has come out to start the 9th. 2-0 pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to the right side of the infield. Benji Downs from first, underneath it, he can't make the catch! He dropped it! And Messenger safe on the E3. Oh my goodness gracious.
That ball was a mile high, and everybody, there's so much pressure on that player.
Did he lose it in the lights, or did he misread it?
I don't know. The wind's not really blowing.
Yeah, Old Glory's at a standstill on the scoreboard, and now Connor King comes up, and time is called as the coaching staff of Wayne Newton is going to come and have a quick chat with Parker Bray. Mason Messenger is going to come over and talk with Coach Torvey as well. Full-on conference on the mound. The Hardhats have the tying run on board and no outs. What are you thinking here, Adam? I know we talked earlier about you don't want to necessarily sacrifice outs if you don't need to, but in this situation, do you sacrifice the out to move Messenger over?
Maybe just to avoid the double play, and you do, but
I mean, Messenger's got some wheels, so if you put him in scoring position and somebody made good contact.
At this point, you're just trying to tie the ball game, so.
Well, at third, Ryan Brown is on the grass. He is ready to field the bunt. So if King's going to do it, he's got to do it down the first baseline. Check to first, Messenger's back, so we still don't have a first pitch. Plus, if you avoid the double play, Cooper Bowman's guaranteed to hit, and he is red hot tonight. First pitch. King shows bunt, and it skips to the backstop, and Messenger's going to head to second. Oh, my goodness, a wild pitch from Parker Bray. And King starts off 1-0.
And now you don't even need it.
And now you don't even need the bunt. You're exactly right. Connor King can swing away, or if he wants to, just for insurance, put that tying run on third. He still could drop it. Third is into field, so shortstop, Boo would have to cover it. And who knows if that's a guaranteed play. What a shift we have. Third base is practically in front of the mound on the grass. First base is on the fringe. Second's the only normal spot. And shortstop is basically in that 5.5 hole covering. They feign a motion to second. Messenger's back. Tying runs in scoring position. No outs here in the bottom of the ninth. And now Connor King's going to step out, and the mental game will continue. No words, right?
No words.
It's unbelievable. Ball and no strikes to King. Finally a pitch. And he looks at strike one. Breaking ball in the outside corner. It's 1-1.
And it's kind of a risky shift anyway, because a blooper over the third baseman's head could be a run scored.
Right. Because left would have to come in from a football field away to try and field it. Ball and a strike to count to King. Infield shifting around, and now we're going to get another feigned motion to second. First and third are now on the grass. First was on the fringe. He has backed up since, but first was pretty close.
And the middle infielders aren't even close to the second base bag.
Right. And they're going to just keep feigning motions. This is a game of cat and mouse now. Eventually somebody's got to do something here. You know, if I'm Messenger, third's not covered.
That is true.
And they're going to feign another motion. This is unreal. This is seriously a game of cat and mouse. Like, what are we, at least 5 minutes on this at bat, and we still only have 2 pitches thrown? Ball and a strike to count to King. Oh, my goodness, it's a pitch. He shows bunt, and it hits him! Oh, my goodness! Connor King hit by a pitch for the second time in as many at-bats. First and second. Here comes Matt Hegre. And now you know Hegre's going to drop it.
Yes.
100% he is going to drop it. Now, he's trying to argue that King leaned into it. And now they're going to call Yogi Milslegel from the field in and try to discuss it. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
See, I don't think you can really argue that, because he squared the bunt and pulled back. You're already kind of leaning over the plate to bunt, so it doesn't have any effect.
I would agree with that. That's astute logic. I'd say that makes sense. Here comes Matt Hegre. Hegre's 1 for 4 with a walk and an RBI single. Would not be surprised to see him drop the bunt right here. And now here comes the mind game again as Bray is going to step off the rubber. Parker Bray, the lefty. In up against Matt Hegre. First and second, no one out, bottom of the ninth. Hegre drops the bunt, foul. Behind home plate, 0-1. This is a situation here where you have to be able to drop this bunt. And it's not easy to do.
No, it's not. And it takes a lot of patience and practice.
No balls and a strike to count here to Hegre. Men on first and second. The corners are in. He's trying to drop the bunt, and he drops it down the third base line. And the throw to third is in time. And a big first out with short covering. That was a 5-6 fielder's choice. That allows Hegre to stay safe on first. Moves King to second, and it takes Messenger out. 1 down. And here comes Cooper Bowman. Cooper Bowman is 4 for 4. A hit by pitch, 3 singles, including a bunt and an RBI single, a double, and 3 runs scored. The tying run is on second. If anybody's going to deliver here, it's him. First pitch. Swung on, ball's pushed opposite field into right, and it drops foul. 0-1 to Bowman.
That was tie ball game.
Absolutely right. Heck, with Connor King on first, it could have been the end. No balls in a strike to count here to Bowman. Wayne Newton post 346 trying to hang on and remain as the last undefeated team. That's what's on the line tonight. Both of these teams 2-0 here in the Firecracker tournament. Here's the 0-1. Too far inside. Ball's dropped, but it's blocked successfully. And King on second and Hegre on first will stay, and it's 1-1 to Bowman. You know, for sloppy as this was at times, this turned into a very exciting baseball game.
Yes, that is for sure.
Bowman steps back in against the lefty Bray. First and second, one out, bottom of the ninth. Next pitch, missed outside. A breaking ball, it's 2-1. Cooper Bowman is 4 for 4, and the one time he didn't register a hit, he was hit. Two balls and a strike to count. Bray from the stretch, 2-1. Just missed outside. And it's now 3 balls and a strike to Cooper Bowman. The tying run is Connor King on second. The winning run is Matt Hegre on first. Bowman in a 3-1 battle. And now Bray steps off. 3 balls, 1 strike to Bowman, still waiting on that 5th pitch. And here's the 3-1. Low and inside, ball 4. And the bases are now loaded. And it's up to Jack Sorensen with 1 out to potentially end this madness. Sorensen 1 for 5. He's flown out, he's grounded out, he's singled and scored, reached on an error and stolen a base, and he struck out with the bases loaded already. Wayne Sullivan, our general manager, the PA announcer tonight, trying to get the crowd into it, invoke some of that home field advantage that his Hardhats do very well with.
Now the corners are in, trying to cut down a play at the plate.
Corners are in, middle infield, practically at double play depth. First pitch to Sorensen, low, 1-0. There is nowhere to put Sorensen. If he walks, we have a tie ball game on our hands. If he hits a base hit, my guess is this one's over. Bases loaded, all speed on the path. 1-0 pitch, upstairs, 2-0, a good eye from Sorensen.
That high pitch is tough to take and swung on 9 times out of 10.
Especially with a batter like Sorensen up. Sorensen batting .375 with men in scoring position this season. Parker Bray, full windup, 2-0, swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike now to Sorensen with the bases loaded. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Hardhats are down 12-11 to Wayne Newton. Here comes Bray, 2-1, high and away, 3 balls and a strike. And Jack Sorensen is a ball 4 away from tying this game up. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here is the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Outside fastball, and the count goes full. How's your blood pressure doing? Yeah?
We'll just say it's high.
Payoff pitch is fouled off. I apologize if we induce any arrhythmias back home for anybody listening to this, because this is just something else. I've asked the Rush hockey team during hockey season to put an AED in the booth, and nobody still has, for moments specifically like this. Here comes payoff number 2 to Sorensen. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is a massive second out. And now the game is on the bat of Ryan Bachman. Bachman coming in to hit in Jace Caldwell's spot. Ryan Bachman. The game is on his bat. And here's his first pitch. Breaking ball, called strike. 0-1. Bachman batting .343. This will be the 15th game in which he swung the bat. 12 singles, 9 doubles, 3 triples, yet to leave the park, a dozen ribbies. Here's his 0-1. Called strike on a fastball. Bachman behind 0-2. Bachman batting .462 with men in scoring position. He steps out of the box to take some time and think. The game is on his bat. Hardhats down 1. Last strike, and the 0-2 is high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Bray on the mound has some pitches to play with, ahead 1-2 on Bachman. He steps back in. 1-2 pitch, low and inside. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Bachman. If that hit him, we'd be tied right now. It would have we'd be all square at 12 aside. Bray steps off, and Bachman's going to call time. Ryan Bachman being cheered on. Base hit could potentially win it. A free pass would tie it. 2-2. Outside, nearly a wild pitch. And the count goes full. Oh my goodness. And this place is going bananas right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. No pressure for Ryan Bachman, right? Everybody's up and clapping. Parker, Bray, everybody going. Payoff pitch, ball 4, we're tied at 12. Oh my goodness, Ryan Bachman. And he triumphantly strolls to first.
1 at bat.
And we are not done here yet. King scores, Hegre to third, Bowman to second, Bachman on first. And now the game is on the bat of Alex Weaver. And we have a congregation on the mound. Stay where you are, folks. I said it at the start of the bottom of the 9th. I'm saying it again. Stay where you are. Alex Weaver, 0 for 1, pop out to short and a walk. He gets hit by a pitch, he walks, a base hit, ball game's over, and the Hardhats walk off. First pitch, swung on and missed. 0-1. Hegre on third, Bowman on second, Bachman on first. Here's the 0-1 to Weaver. Pitch is swung on, hit up the middle, into center field, ball game. The Hardhats walk off and they win it 13-12. And they remain undefeated in the 2018 Firecracker. And Weaver is dogpiled on the base path. What a finish.
What a comeback.
The Hardhats were down 8-2 in the 3rd inning. And somehow storm back and win 13-12. I can only imagine what Coach Torvey is saying to his team right now. What a ball game.
The perseverance shown by these young men tonight is just unbelievable.
You can't write anything like this. You just can't. Hegre comes in as the winning run. Alex Weaver with the walk-off hit. And Weaver didn't even start. He was still up into this game. My understanding was he was battling an injury. You talk about being put in a situation like that. Oh, boy. Here comes the Gato. And they douse him in Gatorade. My goodness. But going back to Weaver, you're coming off of an injury. You don't start the game. You come in as a defensive substitution because your pitcher got hurt. So you call in a left fielder to pitch. You've got to come in. So number one, you've got to be on your game defensive and you're cold. Now you're put in a situation with the bases loaded, 2 outs. You're down to your last out to try and win the game in regulation. Unbelievable.
you can't write this stuff, and that's the power of sports. And on the other side, heartbreak. But you just can't write this up. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
One man's floor is another man's ceiling, if there's anything we have learned from this experience. Folks, we are going to take a step aside. When we come back, Adam and I are going to recap this catastrophe, this madness, this unbelievable comeback. Post 22 walks off on Wayne Newton, post 346, 13-12. You had to see it or listen to it to believe it. We'll take a step aside and come right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV.